the secret to a perfect night's sleep isn't a new gadget or a pill, but ancient wisdom forgotten by time. Imagine a world where anxieties melted away, with rituals and natural remedies, where sleep was a sacred communal act. Join us as we journey back to ancient America to uncover the surprisingly effective, calming secrets to restful slumber that could transform your nights. Welcome, dear listener, to another tranquil journey through the annals of history on Boring History for Sleep. Tonight, we gently uncover the forgotten wisdom of ancient Americans and their approaches to restful slumber. Far removed from the restless nights of our modern world, imagine yourself settling into a soft bed of woven grasses under a vast, star-filled sky, where the worries of the day dissolve into the quiet rhythm of nature. As we explore herbs, rituals, and communal practices, let this narrative wash over you like a gentle stream, inviting relaxation without demand. We begin with the foundations of ancient sleep, contrasting them with today's insomnia, all in our soothing historical ASMR style. In the vast landscapes of ancient America, from the dense forests of the Northeast to the arid plains of the Southwest, indigenous peoples cultivated a profound harmony with the natural world that extended deeply into their pursuit of sleep. Their lives were intertwined with the cycles of the sun, moon, and seasons, creating a foundational rhythm that modern society often disrupts with artificial lights and ceaseless demands. Unlike today's reliance on pharmaceuticals and screens, these ancient communities viewed sleep as an integral part of holistic well-being, a sacred renewal tied to the earth's own rest periods. The air would carry the faint whispers of wind through leaves, reminding them of nature's lullaby. Though the absence of urban noise allowed minds to quiet naturally, this connection fostered a sense of security, where sleep was not a battle but a gentle surrender to the night's embrace. Contrast this with our contemporary struggles, where insomnia plagues millions, driven by the relentless pace of technology and stress that fragments our natural rest cycles. Ancient Americans, unburdened by such intrusions, drew from the land's bounty to nurture their slumber, seeing it as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. Their daily routines aligned with daylight, ensuring bodies were weary from purposeful labor rather than mental exhaustion from abstract worries. Concept of well-being encompassed not just the individual but the community were shared. Stories around fires eased tensions before bedtime. In this way, sleep became a collective harmony, a far cry from the isolated battles many face today in silent, darkened rooms. As we delve deeper, picture the serene environments that cradled these ancient sleep practices. From thatched longhouses in the woodlands to adobe dwellings in desert valleys, all designed to blend seamlessly with their surroundings. The materials used earth, wood, and stone provided insulation against the elements, creating cool, dim interiors that invited repose during hot days or cold nights. Sounds of distant rivers or rustling wildlife served as natural white noise, drowning out minor disturbances and promoting uninterrupted rest. Families would gather in these spaces, their presence offering a comforting assurance that warded off the isolation that often fuels modern sleeplessness. Thus, the physical setting itself was a cornerstone of their sleep foundations, embedding tranquility into the very architecture of daily life. This holistic approach extended to dietary habits, where meals rich in foraged foods like nuts, berries, and roots provided nutrients that supported calm nervous systems without the overstimulation of processed sugars. Evenings were marked by lighter fare, allowing digestion to ease before sleep, a practice that contrasted sharply with late-night snacking in our era. Spiritual beliefs reinforced this, viewing dreams as messages from ancestors, which encouraged a respectful preparation for the night's journey. The absence of clocks meant time was fluid, guided by bodily cues rather than rigid schedules, reducing the anxiety of not enough hours. In essence, their sleep foundations were woven from threads of nature, community, and spirit, offering a model of serenity we might envy. Now, transitioning smoothly, We recognize how these foundations countered what we term insomnia today, not through force but through alignment with life's natural ebb and flow. Ancient peoples understood that unrest stemmed from disharmony, whether with the environment or within oneself, and addressed it preemptively through daily rituals. Modern science echoes this in studies on circadian rhythms, yet ancient wisdom preceded such knowledge by millennia, relying on observation and tradition. Calming tone of their existence, free from the buzz of notifications, allowed for a gradual unwinding as twilight fell. By embracing this contrast, we can appreciate the depth of their forgotten wisdom, setting the stage for the herbal remedies that bloom from this fertile ground. Visualize the ancient American landscapes as we set our calming, historical ASMR tone. The soft visuals of mist-shrouded forests at dusk, where the light filters through canopy leaves in golden hues. Then a rustle of branches and a light breeze accompanies the distant call of nocturnal birds, creating an auditory blanket of peace. Earthy scents of pine and soil waft through the air, evoking a grounded sense of place that invites the body to relax. In these settings, ancient inhabitants moved with deliberate slowness, their footsteps soft on moss-covered paths mirroring the unhurried pace of nature itself. This imagery not only transports us but underscores the tranquility inherent in their way of life. Far from the harsh glare of electric lights, the ASMR elements weave in subtly, like the faint crackle of a small fire or the trickle of a nearby stream, sounds that ancient ears knew well as signals for rest. These environments were not barren but alive with subtle stimuli that soothed rather than startled, such as the whisper of wind through tall grasses on open prairies. Structures built from natural materials absorbed echoes, preventing the sharp noises that disrupt modern sleep in echoing apartments. As night deepened, the sky revealed a tapestry of stars, visual meditation that drew eyes upward in quiet wonder. Through these sensory details, we establish a tone of gentle immersion, preparing your mind for the historical journey ahead, hinting at the forgotten wisdom to come. Consider how these ancient practices integrated herbs harvested under moonlight, rituals performed in sacred circles, and communal bonds that cradled the sleeper in security, each element built upon the foundations. We've touched promising layers of insight into a sleep culture rooted in reverence. The depth lies in their interconnectedness, where no remedy stood alone but harmonized with the whole. As we proceed, you'll sense the rhythm of their lives, a steady pulse that lulled generations into peaceful repose. This teaser invites curiosity without urgency, allowing you to drift along at your own pace. The wisdom extended to understanding sleep's role in health, where imbalances were addressed through natural means rather than ignored until crisis. Ancient healers observed patterns in nature, applying them to human cycles with intuitive precision. This proactive stance contrasts with reactive modern medicine, highlighting a preventive philosophy born from close environmental ties. Subtle hints of spiritual dimensions peek through like dreams interpreted as guidance, adding intrigue to the nightly routine. In unveiling these, we honor a legacy of calm that time has nearly erased. Building on this, the environments fostered a sensory ASMR that was innate, not contrived, with textures like smooth bark or soft hides providing tactile comfort in sleeping areas. The air, clean and scented with wildflowers, breathed life into lungs weary from the day. Visuals of fading sunsets painted the horizon in soft pastels, signaling the body's wind down. Sounds layered gently from insect choruses to leaf symphonies, creating a natural soundtrack for slumber. Thus, the tone is set not just visually but multisensorially, enveloping you in history's gentle embrace. As we hint further, the herbs we'll explore were seen as gifts from the Earth Mother, prepared with care to induce gentle drowsiness. Rituals involved invocations to spirits of rest, blending action with intention for profound effect. Communal aspects ensured no one slept in fear, with stories shared to ease minds. Cosmos above reminded them of vastness, diminishing personal woes. This depth awaits, promising a soothing revelation of ancient serenity. In these ancient societies, sleep was revered as a time of renewal, where the body mended and the spirit wandered freely among ancestors. Modern insomnia, often fueled by disconnection, finds no parallel in their integrated lives, where every aspect supports rest. The foundations included physical preparations, like bathing in herbal-infused waters to cleanse both body and aura. Community elders passed down knowledge, ensuring continuity across generations. By contrasting this, we appreciate the elegance of their approach, simple yet profound. The ASMR tone continues with imagined sensations of cool night air on skin, a subtle tingle that relaxes muscles. Visuals shift to moonlit clearings, where shadows dance softly without menace. Sounds fade to whispers, mirroring the quieting mind. This setup not only calms but educates, blending history with sensory peace. The forgotten wisdom beckons, ready to unfold in layers of tranquil detail. Finally, in this introductory exploration, we poised at the edge of deeper dives, where specific practices reveal themselves like stars emerging at twilight. Contrast sharpens our view, making ancient ways shine against modern shadows. The tone, ever soothing, carries us forward without haste. Hints of herbal scents linger in the air, promising natural sedatives ahead. With this foundation laid, we gently transition to the next layer of ancient calm. Let us delve further into the ancient American foundations of sleep, where holistic well-being was not a luxury but an essential thread in the fabric of existence. Indigenous peoples across the continents viewed the body, mind, and spirit as interconnected vessels, each requiring balance to invite restorative slumber. Their practices stem from generations of observation, noting how the moon's phases influenced moods and how the earth's quietude at night signaled time for renewal. Unlike modern approaches that isolate sleep issues, these ancients addressed them through a web of daily harmonies, ensuring no part of life disrupted the night's peace. This integrated perspective fostered resilience, allowing communities to thrive in diverse environments from coastal shores to mountainous heights. In contrast with today's insomnia epidemics, consider how ancient Americans avoided the fragmentation caused by constant connectivity, instead sensing their rest with natural cues. Like the setting sun, modern lights disrupt melatonin production, a hormone these peoples naturally harness through darkened dwellings and early evenings. Their diets, rich in omega-rich fish or nut-based foods, supported brain health without the caffeine spikes that plague contemporary routines. Social structures emphasized communal support, where elders' wisdom guided younger ones away from worries that might linger into the night. Thus, their sleep foundations countered unrest at its roots, promoting a serenity that feels elusive in our wired world. The natural environments played a pivotal role, the forest providing canopies that filtered light and created shaded nooks for midday rests, precursors to deeper nocturnal sleep. Rivers and streams offered soothing background murmurs akin to white noise machines but born from the land itself. In desert regions, adobe structures retained coolness, warding off heat-induced wakefulness that modern air conditioning mimics imperfectly. While life patterns taught them vigilance during the day and surrender at dusk, embedding a rhythmic trust in nature's cycles. These settings were not mere backdrops but active participants in cultivating well-being, reminding us of lost simplicities. Spiritual dimensions infused their sleep practices, where dreams were portals to ancestral guidance, encouraging a reverent approach to bedtime that eased mental chatter. Rituals, though simple, aligned the spirit with the cosmos, dispelling fears that could fracture rest. This contrasts sharply with modern secular views, where sleep is often mechanized rather than sanctified. Communities shared these beliefs, reinforcing a collective calm that isolated individuals today might lack. By honoring the unseen, they built foundations of inner peace, a cornerstone for untroubled slumber. As we set the calming historical ASMR tone, envision the soft glow of embers in a communal lodge, their faint crackles sensing with steady breaths. The scent of cedar smoke lingers subtly, purifying the air and inviting a sense of sacred space. Textures underfoot, like woven mats of sweetgrass, provide gentle grounding, while the hush of night amplifies inner quietude. Visuals of starlit skies draw the gaze upward, a natural meditation that slows racing thoughts. This multisensory immersion mirrors ancient experiences, fostering relaxation in our exploration. The tone extends to auditory elements. Imagine whispers of wind through pine needles creating a lullaby-like cadence. Earthy aromas of damp soil after rain evoke freshness, cleansing the palate for rest. Tactile sensations of fur-lined bedding offer warmth without weight, promoting bodily ease. These details, drawn from historical contexts, build an ASMR bridge to the past, soothing without overstimulation. In this way, we honor the tranquil essence of ancient lives. Hinting at deeper wisdom, recall how these foundations supported herbal integrations, where plants like Passionflower were forged with gratitude to enhance sleep's depth. Rituals around fires wove stories that resolve daily tensions, paving the way for peaceful nights. Communal bonds ensured shared vigilance, reducing solitary anxieties that disrupt modern rest. The cosmos, viewed as a guiding map, instilled perspective, diminishing petty concerns. This layered approach promises revelations in segments ahead, gently unfolding like dawn's light. Further contrasting, ancient diets avoided stimulants, favoring calming infusions that prepared the body for repose, unlike today's coffee culture. Physical labors align with daylight, exhausting muscles naturally without gym-induced adrenaline. Social narratives around sleep emphasized its holiness, countering the productivity myths that fuel insomnia now. Environmental attunement meant adapting to seasons, hibernating more in winter's embrace. These elements created robust foundations, a blueprint for enduring calm. The ASMR visuals continue with misty mornings over ancient villages. The dew-kissed leaves glisten in soft light, evoking renewal. Gentle waves lapping at lakeshores provide rhythmic sounds, mirroring heartbeat slows. Structures of bark and earth blend seamlessly, their organic forms inviting harmony. Shadows lengthen gracefully at dusk, signaling transition without abruptness. This pictorial serenity sets our tone, immersing you in history's gentle flow. Hints of wisdom include the use of sacred plants for purification, clearing energies that might hinder sleep's arrival. Individual meditations on nature's patterns fostered mindfulness. Precursor to restful states, group dynamics offered security, where the rhythm of collective breathing lulled all. Understanding cycles of life and death brought acceptance, easing existential unrest. These teasers build anticipation, all while maintaining our soothing pace. In ancient holistic views, well-being encompassed environmental stewardship, ensuring clean air and water that supported clear-minded sleep. Modern pollutants contrast this, often contributing to respiratory issues that interrupt rest. Their practices included seasonal adjustments, like lighter activities and heat to preserve energy for night. Community health rituals prevented widespread ailments, safeguarding collective slumber. This comprehensive approach underscores the wisdom we'll explore. Further, the tone incorporates subtle repetitions like the recurring hush of nature, reinforcing comfort through familiarity. Visuals of woven baskets holding foraged goods symbolize abundance and peace. Sounds of distant owls call to mind watchful guardians. Not threats, aromas of blooming night flowers add layers of delight together. These craft an ASMR tapestry, weaving calm into our narrative. Deeper hints reveal how astronomy influenced bedtimes, with constellations as timers for rest. Herbal knowledge passed orally ensured accessibility, unlike specialized modern therapies. Spiritual cleansings via smoke prepared spaces for dreams. Social equality in tribes reduced. Status anxieties that plague sleep today. This depth awaits, promising enriching insights. Contrasts highlight how ancient mobility following games or seasons kept routines fresh without stagnation-induced boredom. Modern sedentary lives often lead to overthinking at night. pitfall they evaded through active days. Their oral histories served as bedtime tales, resolving emotions narratively. Natural remedies addressed minor discomforts promptly, preventing chronic issues. These foundations, solid and adaptive, offer timeless lessons. ASMR elements include the soft patter of rain on thatch roofs, a natural drum for drowsiness. Visuals of fireflies dancing in twilight add whimsical light without glare. Textures of clay pots, smooth and cool, ground the senses. Whispers of ancestral songs float faintly, evoking continuity. This sensory blend maintains our historical calm, guiding you deeper. Hints that rituals involve circling dances that release energy before sleep. Plant allies, chosen for sedative qualities, were integrated mindfully. Communal dreaming interpretations build bonds, turning nights into shared adventures. Cosmic alignments during solstices renewed sleep patterns. These elements tease the forgotten wisdom ahead. The holistic well-being extended to emotional release through ceremonies, preventing pent-up stress from invading sleep. Modern therapy echoes this, yet ancients did so communally without stigma. Their connection to land provided grounding, countering the rootlessness that fuels contemporary. Insomnia, dietary wisdom included fasting periods that reset bodies for better rest. This integrated life wove sleep seamlessly into existence. Tone-setting visuals shift to autumn leaves falling softly, symbolizing letting go for renewal. Gentle breezes carry seed pods, whispering of cycles. Earth-tone palettes dominate, soothing eyes accustomed to screens. Faint echoes of laughter from distant gatherings add warmth. ASMR journey thus progresses, enveloping in tranquility. Further hints, sacred spaces dedicated to rest, adorned with symbols of peace. Intuitive healing addressed imbalances preemptively. Group meditations under stars align energies. Respect for elders' sleep advice ensured wisdom's flow. This promises a rich exploration. In wrapping this part, the foundations reveal a profound respect for sleep's role in survival and spirit. Contrast illuminate paths back to natural rhythms. The tone, ever gentle, prepares for more. Hints linger like fading echoes. We pause here, ready to continue, as we conclude our exploration of ancient American sleep foundations. Reflect on how these holistic principles offered a buffer against the unrest that defines much of modern life, rooted in a deep attunement to the world's natural pulses. Indigenous communities across the Americas, from the Great Plains to the Amazonian basins, prioritized balance in all things, viewing sleep as a vital communion with the spirit world rather than a mere physiological need. Their practices avoided the isolation of contemporary bedrooms, instead incorporating communal elements that provided emotional security and reduced nocturnal anxieties. By aligning with seasonal changes, they adapted rest patterns fluidly, such as longer slumbers during winter's shorter days. Flexibility lost in our calendar-bound schedules. This adaptive wisdom ensured that sleep was restorative, mending both body and soul in harmony with the environment. Contrast with today's insomnia reveals a chasm, where ancient peoples harnessed the power of natural darkness to enhance melatonin naturally, free from the blue light that disrupts our circadian clocks. Their evenings were filled with purposeful unwinding, perhaps through light storytelling or quiet reflections, easing the transition to rest without the aid of devices. Physical environments like tipis or hogans insulated with natural fibers maintain optimal temperatures for sleep, contrasting the climate-controlled but often sterile modern homes. Spiritual practices infused bedtime with meaning, turning potential worries into opportunities for ancestral connection. In this way, their foundations promoted a profound calm, a legacy we can draw from even now, setting the historical ASMR tone further. Imagine the subtle vibrations of a distant drum echoing through a forested valley at twilight, its rhythm sensing with the heartbeat of the earth. The aroma of smoldering sage wafts gently, cleansing the air and inviting a sense of purification before repose. Textures of deerskin blankets offer soft warmth, grounding the body against the cool night soil. Visuals of fireflies flickering like wandering spirits add a magical hush to the scene. These elements, drawn from ancient traditions, create an immersive calm that bridges past and present. Hints of the forgotten wisdom include the use of sacred plants like chamomile, steeped in warm waters to soothe the nerves and beckon sleep's gentle rival. Rituals such as smudging with cedar or sage clear negative energies, preparing the mind for untroubled dreams. Communal gatherings around fires fostered bonds that alleviated loneliness, a common thief of modern rest. Observations of the stars guided timing for rest, aligning human cycles with cosmic ones. This interconnected approach teases the depths we'll uncover, all in soothing detail. In ancient holistic well-being, the emphasis on prevention through daily balance warded off the chronic sleep debts that accumulate in our fast-paced era. Community shared knowledge of environmental cues like the call of night birds signaling bedtime, embedding instinctual rest habits. Diets avoided heavy evening meals favoring light, nutrient-rich foods that supported gentle digestion overnight. Emotional well-being was tended through group ceremonies, releasing tensions that might otherwise fester. Thus, their sleep foundations were proactive, nurturing a resilience against disruption. The ASMR tone envelops with the imagined rustle of sweetgrass braids being prepared for ritual use, their sweet scent promising serenity. Gentle waves from a nearby lake lap rhythmically, a natural metronome for slowing breaths. Earthy hues of sunset paint the landscape, easing eyes into dimness without strain. Faint chants from elders carry on the breeze, weaving a tapestry of cultural continuity. This sensory historical journey maintains our calming flow, inviting deeper relaxation. Deeper hints reveal passionflower vines native to southern regions, whose extracts were used by some tribes to quiet racing thoughts. Sweat lodge ceremonies involving steam from heated stones and herbs, purged impurities for clearer rest. Vision quests in solitude hone inner peace, translating to better sleep upon return. For sacred medicines, tobacco, cedar, sage, and sweetgrass played roles in purification rites before bed. These elements promise enriching layers in our narrative ahead, contrasting modern struggles. Ancient Americans sidestepped overstimulation by limiting evening activities to reflective ones. Unlike our screen-lit nights, their connection to land provided grounding, countering the disconnection that breeds insomnia today. Herbal knowledge passed through oral traditions addressed minor ailments swiftly, preventing escalation. Social equity in tribes minimized hierarchical stresses that disrupt contemporary slumber. This balanced existence offers a timeless counterpoint to our fragmented rest. ASMR visuals include moonlight filtering through canopy gaps, casting silver paths on forest floors. Soft crackles from a dying fire provide auditory comfort, fading into silence. Tactile sensations of woven reed mats cradle the form, promoting bodily release. Aromas of blooming night jasmine subtly enhance the air's freshness. Our tone thus deepens, fostering an intimate historical embrace. Hints at rituals encompass meditative drumming to align energies, inducing trance-like states conducive to sleep. Plant spirits were invoked for protection during dreams. Blending botany with spirituality, group storytelling resolved daily narratives, clearing minds for repose. Cosmic awareness through stargazing diminished ego-driven worries. This wisdom unfolds gently, awaiting full revelation. The foundations extended to recognizing sleep's role in community health, where shared rest strengthened collective vitality. Modern individualism contrasts this, often leading to solitary battles. The wakefulness, their intuitive medicine used natural sedatives sparingly, relying first on lifestyle harmony. Environmental respect ensured pure air and water, essentials for deep sleep. In essence, their approach was sustainable, a model of enduring tranquility. Tone setting includes the whisper of wind through cedar branches, a natural hush that quiets inner dialogue. Visuals of communal circles under stars evoke unity and peace. Sounds of gentle rain on hides add layers of white noise. Sense of earth after dusk ground the senses firmly, this ASMR framework supports our soothing exploration. Further hints, sacred fires where herbs like hops were added to smokes for calming effects. Individual amulets of protective plants warded off nightmares. Seasonal festivals renew sleep rhythms. Annually, ancestral reverence through dreams fostered acceptance. These teasers build toward comprehensive insights. In reflecting on these foundations, we see a worldview where sleep was sacred, not commodified as in our pill-dependent society. Contrast invites self-examination of our habits, perhaps inspiring small shifts toward ancient wisdom. The tone, consistently calming, has prepared us well. Hints linger, promising herbal lullabies next. With segment 1 complete, we transition smoothly to nature's sedatives, where we gently shift our focus to the herbal lullabies of ancient America, where the earth itself provided nature's sedatives, drawn from plants that grew freely under the sun and moon. These remedies were not mere medicines, but expressions of profound respect for the living world, where every leaf and root held wisdom accumulated over countless seasons. Indigenous healers approach these plants with gratitude, harvesting them at optimal times, often under the guidance of lunar cycles or seasonal signs to ensure their potency and harmony. The process itself was meditative, fingers brushing through dew-kissed foliage, the soft snap of stems, the release of earthy aromas that spoke of soil and rain. In this quiet communion, the line between gatherer and gathered blurred, fostering a sense of unity that eased the mind even before the remedy touched the lips. California poppy, known scientifically as Eschscholzia californica, emerged as one of the most cherished sleep allies among the tribes of what is now the western United States. Its brilliant golden petals opening each morning to the sun and closing at dusk were the natural rhythm of rest that the people sought to emulate in their own lives. Traditional preparations involved carefully collecting the whole plant flowers, leaves, and roots during the flowering season, then drying them slowly in shaded areas to preserve their delicate essence. These dried parts were steeped in hot water to create a mild tea, its pale amber hue glowing softly in firelight as it released a subtle, slightly bitter fragrance that calmed rather than overwhelmed. The resulting infusion was sipped slowly in the evening, allowing its gentle sedative properties to unfold like a slow tide, quieting restless thoughts without the heaviness of stronger substances. The sedative effects of California poppy were attributed to alkaloids within the plant that soothed the nervous system, a knowledge gained through generations of observation rather than written analysis. Tribes such as the Chumash and Ohlone valued it for easing anxiety that might otherwise disturb slumber, often combining it with other local plants for balanced effect. Unlike modern pharmaceuticals, this remedy worked in concert with the body's own rhythms, encouraging a natural descent into sleep rather than forcing it. The act of brewing the tea became a ritual in itself, the steam rising in soft curls carrying hints of sunshine and meadow, a sensory bridge to the day's end. In this way, the poppy offered not just sleep but a reminder of the earth's benevolence. A lullaby whispered through roots and petals. Visualize the gentle scene as ancient hands crushed fresh California poppy leaves between stones, the faint green sap releasing a mild, herbaceous scent that mingled with the surrounding air. The sound of mortar against pestle created a rhythmic, low murmur, akin to distant waves or the steady breath of the forest. Once ground into a fine consistency, the mixture was placed in a clay vessel. Hot water poured over it with deliberate care, bubbles rising lazily as the infusion deepened in color. The steam carried delicate notes of earth and faint sweetness, inviting inhalation that slowed the pulse naturally. These sensory details, preserved in oral traditions, evoke the profound respect these peoples held for the plants that shared their landscapes. Passionflower, or Passionflower incarnata, flourished in the southeastern woodlands and was revered by tribes such as the Cherokee for its ability to quiet the mind's endless circling thoughts. Its intricate blossoms, resembling passion or suffering in their form, unfolded in summer heat, yet their essence proved cooling and calming when harvested. Preparation often involved drying the aerial parts, vines, leaves, and flowers, then steeping them into a tea that released a mild, grassy aroma with undertones of citrus. This infusion was taken before bedtime, its subtle bitterness balanced by honey gathered from nearby hives, creating a harmonious blend that eased the transition to rest. The plant's reputation for promoting peaceful sleep stemmed from compounds that supported relaxation of the central nervous system, a gentle ally in nights troubled by worry. The harvesting of passionflower was done with mindfulness, often accompanied by quiet songs or thanks offered to the plant spirit, ensuring sustainable gathering that honored the vine's continued presence. Vines were cut selectively, allowing the plant to regenerate, reflecting the deep ecological understanding embedded in these practices. The dried material stored in woven baskets lined with cedar retained its potency for months, a testament to careful preservation techniques. When evening arrived, the tea was brewed in small batches, the water heated over low flames to prevent harshness, resulting in a soothing liquid that warmed the hands as much as it calmed the spirit. Through such rituals, passionflower became more than a remedy. It was a connection to the living earth, fostering trust in nature's capacity to heal. In the quiet of twilight, imagine the rustling of passionflower vines in a gentle breeze, their tendrils curling like soft embraces around supporting branches. The faint perfume of the flowers lingers in the air, a sweet whisper that promises serenity as the day fades. Crushing the dried vines releases a deeper, more resonant note, blending with the scent of wood smoke from nearby fires. The act of stirring the tea produces a soft, swirling sound, hypnotic in its simplicity, drawing the listener inward. These elements combine to create an atmosphere of profound calm, where the preparation itself contributed to the remedy's effectiveness. Other native plants contributed to this herbal chorus, each selected for its unique contribution to restful nights. Skullcap Scutellaria lateriflora grew in moist meadows and was used by various eastern tribes as a nervine tonic, its square stems and small blue flowers yielding a tea that quieted overactive minds. Hops from native varieties of Humulus lupulus in northern regions were added to pillows or brewed lightly, their resinous cones imparting a bitter edge that encouraged drowsiness. These choices reflected a sophisticated understanding of plant synergies, where mild sedatives were combined thoughtfully to address different aspects of unrest. The overall philosophy emphasized harmony, ensuring that remedies supported rather than overpowered the body's natural inclination toward sleep. Respect for nature shone through in every step, from the prayer spoken before picking a leaf to the careful return of unused portions to the earth. These practices ensured abundance for future generations, a sustainable approach that contrasted with modern extraction methods. The sensory world of herbal preparation, crushing, steeping, and healing serve as a prelude to sleep, engaging the body and mind in a gradual unwinding. Aromas of green and earth filled the air, textures of rough bark and soft petals grounded the hands, and the quiet sounds of nature accompanied each movement. In this intimate relationship with plants, ancient Americans found not only remedies but a path to deeper peace. As we linger in these herbal lullabies, the gentle infusion of California poppy tea cools on the tongue, its mild bitterness giving way to lingering calm. The rustle of leaves outside the dwelling mirrors the slowing breath within, while distant night sounds weave a natural blanket of tranquility. This first glimpse into nature's sedatives reveals their simplicity and depth, rooted in reverence for the green world. The wisdom here invites reflection on our own connections to plants, perhaps inspiring a small step toward their use today. With this foundation, we prepare to explore more of these botanical gifts in the next part. Building upon the gentle embrace of these herbal remedies, we turn to Valerian root. Though its primary species hails from beyond the Americas, some native variants like Valeriana edulis were utilized by indigenous groups in the mountainous regions for their grounding, sedative qualities. These roots, dug carefully from the soil in autumn when their potency peaked, it washed in clear streams and dried slowly over warm stones to concentrate their earthy essence. Tribes such as those in the Rocky Mountain areas prepared them by grating the dried root into a fine powder, then infusing it in water warmed by the fading embers of a fire, resulting in a tea with a musky, slightly pungent aroma that lingered like the scent of damp forest floor. This brew was sipped mindfully as the sun dipped below the horizon, its compounds working subtly to relax muscles and quiet the inner dialogue that might otherwise echo through the night. The respect shown to the plant included leaving offerings at the harvest site, ensuring the spirit of the root continued to bless future growths. The sedative power of Valerian lay in its ability to enhance the body's natural calming signals. Wisdom observed through trial and passed down orally among healers, who noted its effects on restless elders or weary hunters. Unlike abrupt modern sleep aids, this root encouraged a gradual softening of awareness, allowing dreams to approach like mist rolling over hills. Preparation often involved blending it with sweeter herbs to mask its bold flavor, creating a balanced potion that honored the palate as much as the mind. The act of digging and processing fostered a connection to the underground world, symbolizing the delving into subconscious realms during sleep. In this manner, Valerian served as a bridge between waking vigilance and nocturnal surrender, embodying nature's patient rhythm. Imagine the soft crunch of soil underfoot as ancient foragers unearthed Valerian roots, their gnarled forms emerging like hidden treasures from the earth's quiet depths. The faint, woody scent released upon breaking the root mingled with the crisp mountain air, a prelude to the tranquility it promised. Grinding the root with stone tools produced a rhythmic grinding sound, hypnotic and steady, echoing the pulse of life slowing toward rest. As the powder steeped in a woven cup, bubbles formed lazily on the surface, releasing vapors that curled upward in serene spirals. These visuals and sounds integral to the process deepen the respect for nature's pharmacy, where every step contributed to the healing. Other plants joined this herbal symphony, such as wild lettuce like tucaverosa, which grew in open fields and was harvested by plains tribes for its milky sap that induced mild drowsiness. The leaves were collected at dawn when dew clung to them like nature's own elixir, then bruised gently to extract the latex, which was mixed into teas or salves. This preparation released a subtle lettuce-like aroma with bitter undertones, sipped in small doses to ease into sleep without overwhelming the senses. The plant's reputation stemmed from its opiate-like compounds used sparingly to avoid dependency, reflecting a balanced approach to wellness. Through such remedies, ancient Americans demonstrated an intuitive pharmacology, selecting plants that complemented their lifestyles of movement and attunement. The gathering of wild lettuce involved walking softly through meadows, hands brushing against stems to select the most vital specimens without disturbing the surrounding flora. Drying the leaves in bundles hung from lodge poles allowed breezes to carry away excess moisture, preserving the sap's potency for winter use. When brewed, the tea's pale green hue shimmered in firelight, inviting contemplation as it cooled to a drinkable warmth. The process emphasized sustainability, with seeds scattered back to the earth to ensure renewal. In this cycle, the herb not only aided sleep but reinforced the interconnected web of life, where giving and receiving flowed seamlessly. Visuals of these preparations evoke the gentle rustling of dried herbs being portioned into pouches, their textures rough yet comforting against the skin. The sound of water trickling from a gourd into the brewing vessel adds a liquid melody, soothing in its simplicity and flow. Aromas blend subtly earthy valerian with fresh wild lettuce, creating a bouquet that signals the body's unwind. Flames flickering low cast warm shadows on faces gathered around, fostering a communal sense of peace. These sensory layers connected the individual to the greater whole, enhancing the remedy's efficacy through immersion. As we explore further, hops from native humulus species in northern woodlands were prized by some northeastern tribes for stuffing into sleep pillows, their cone-like flowers releasing a resinous, beer-like scent that promoted relaxation. harvested in late summer. Cones were dried in shaded areas to retain their volatile oils, then sewn into fabric sachets placed near the head during rest. This method allowed the aroma to diffuse gradually through the night, calming nerves without ingestion. The plant's climbing vines symbolized ascent and descent, mirroring the journey into, out of sleep's depths. Such innovative uses highlighted the creativity in ancient herbal practices, adapting plants to various forms for optimal benefit. The respect for hops included climbing carefully among the vines, plucking cones with thanks to avoid damaging the perennial roots. Storage in cool, dark places preserved their freshness, ensuring availability through harsh seasons. When used in pillows, the faint crunch of cones under fabric provided tactile reassurance, a subtle reminder of nature's presence. The aroma, hobby, and slightly floral wafted gently, inducing yawns and heavy eyelids in a natural progression. This non-invasive approach suited those sensitive to teas, broadening the herbal toolkit for diverse needs. Imagine the soft glow of moonlight filtering through vine-covered arbors where hops were gathered, their silhouettes dancing lightly in the breeze. Plucking sound, a quiet pop, accompanied by the release of sticky resin on fingers, grounded the harvester in the moment. Stuffing pillows involved layering cones with softer materials like down or moss, creating a plush nest for the head. As night deepened, the scent intensified subtly, weaving into dreams like threads in a tapestry. These details underscored the intimate bond with nature, where sleep aids were crafted with care and intention. Blending these herbs often created synergistic effects, such as combining passionflower with valerian for enhanced calm, a practice observed in southern tribes where healers experimented mindfully. Preparations varied by region, but always with reverence, ensuring dosages remained gentle to honor the body's wisdom. The resulting teas or pouches became evening companions, their presence a signal to release the day's burdens. This holistic integration reflected a worldview where plants were allies, not conquests. Through such harmony, sleep arrived as a trusted friend nurtured by the land's generous offerings. The brushing of mixed herbs released a complex aroma profile floral notes, from passionflower mingling with valerian's depth inviting deep inhalations that slowed the breath. Sounds of stirring in clay pots produced a meditative swirl aligning with the evening's hush. Visuals of colorful dried bundles hanging like ornaments added aesthetic peace to living spaces. Tactile elements from rough roots to silky petals engaged the senses fully in preparation. In this multi-sensory ritual, the connection to nature's sedatives deepened, fostering lasting serenity. As part 2 unfolds these layers, the herbal lullabies reveal their timeless appeal, rooted in observation and respect for the green world around. Each plant carried stories of healing passed through generations like sacred songs. The visuals and sounds continue to evoke calm, bridging ancient practices to our listening ears. This exploration invites gentle reflection on incorporating such wisdom subtly today. With more to share, we pause here in tranquil anticipation. As we draw this exploration of herbal lullabies to a close, consider the role of chamomile. Though primarily associated with Old World traditions, native species like Endemis cotula or similar composites were foraged by some ancient American groups in open prairies for their apple-like scent and calming infusions. These daisy-like flowers were picked at peak bloom, their heads dried in bundles suspended from rafters to capture the sun's warmth. Without direct exposure, preparation involved crumbling the dried florets into hot water, creating a golden tea that released a sweet, hay-like aroma. Sipped slowly as twilight deepened to ease digestive tensions that might disrupt sleep. Plants' mild antispasmodic properties observed through communal use helped relax both body and mind, a gentle wave that carried one toward repose. In honoring chamomile spirit, harvesters often left petals scattered as offerings, ensuring the meadows continued flourishing. The sedative qualities extended to blends where chamomile complemented stronger roots like valerian, balancing flavors and effects for a more holistic remedy tailored to individual needs. Tribes and varied ecosystems adapted these, with healers consulting dreams or signs to guide combinations that address seasonal unrest. The tea's warmth in clay cups provided tactile comfort, the steam rising to soothe sinuses and invite deeper breaths. This practice underscored the intuitive wisdom of ancient pharmacology, where efficacy came from synergy rather than isolation. Through such mindful use, these herbs became nightly guardians, weaving calm into the fabric of existence. Visualize the delicate plucking of chamomile heads in a sun-dappled field, fingers brushing petals that release a faint, fruity essence into the breeze. The drying process involves gentle turning of bundles, the rustle of stems, a soft symphony echoing nature's patience. Steeping in vessels carved from wood or gourd produces bubbling whispers, the liquid turning sunny yellow as it infuses. Inhaling the vapor creates a moment of pause, eyes closing instinctively in anticipation of peace. These sensory rituals connected the user profoundly to the plant's healing journey from soil to soul. Other supportive herbs included lemon balm, Melissa officinalis in introduced forms or native mint relatives, used by woodland tribes for their citrusy leaves that brighten teas and quell anxious thoughts. Leaves were harvested fresh, bruised lightly to unlock volatile oils, then added to infusions that carried a refreshing zest tempered by earth's undertones. This remedy was favored for evenings after laborious days, its uplifting yet sedative nature bridging wakefulness to dreams. Sustainable picking ensured patches thrived, with stems cut above nose to encourage regrowth. In this way, lemon balm embodied renewal, a herbal lullaby that refreshed as it relaxed. The preparation of lemon balm involved rinsing in cool stream water, the leaves glistening before being torn gently into pieces for brewing. The aroma, sharp and herbaceous, filled the air like a cleansing breath, dispelling the day's residue. When combined with flowers like passionflower, the blend achieved a floral depth. Sipped from shared gourds and family circles, the process fostered gratitude, with the words of thanks murmured to the plant for its gift of serenity. Thus, these herbs reinforced communal bonds, turning remedy making into a shared path to restful nights. Imagine the verdant patches where lemon balm grew, leaves waving in gentle winds that carried their scent across clearings. Crushing them between palms released oils that tingled subtly on skin, a tactile prelude to inner calm. Tea steam curled lazily, mirroring the unwinding mind as flavors unfolded on the tongue. Sounds of pouring and sipping blended with evening cricket choruses, creating an auditory harmony. These elements highlighted the profound respect for nature, where plants were kin, not commodities. In connecting these remedies to respect for nature, ancient Americans viewed herbs as living teachers, their cycles mirroring human needs for rest and revival. Harvesting was timed with moons and stars, ensuring alignment with cosmic energies that amplified healing. Waste was minimal, with every part used or returned to soil, sustaining the land that sustained them. This ethos prevented depletion, fostering biodiversity that enriched future generations' pharmacopoeia. Ultimately, the herbal lullaby sang of interdependence, a soothing reminder of humanity's place within the great web. The respect manifested in stories told around fires, where plants featured as heroes and tales of restoration embedding cultural reverence. Healers apprentice under elders, learning not just uses but the spiritual dialogues with flora. Offerings of tobacco or cornmeal at sites honored the exchange, balancing take with give. This philosophy extended to conservation, rotating harvest areas to allow recovery. In essence, the remedies healed because they stemmed from harmony, a forgotten wisdom that nourished the body and earth alike. Visuals of herbal gardens or wild stands evoked tinted plots where diversity thrived, colors blending in natural palettes under open skies. Gentle hands selecting leaves without harm symbolize care, the rustle a whisper of consent. Crushing in mortars produces rhythmic sounds, grounding in the present while preparing for rest. Aromas layer the air, from sweet to musky, a sensory map of nature's bounty. These connections deepen the healing, making sleep a sacred communion, Further, the respect included seasonal festivals thanking plant allies, reinforcing community ties to the land's rhythms. Experimentation was cautious, guided by observation of effects on animals or volunteers. Knowledge was oral, sung in chants that preserved details across time. This approach avoided exploitation, viewing overuse as disharmony that could invite unrest. Thus, the herbal path to sleep was one of balance, echoing nature's own cycles. In the quiet infusion of a mixed herbal tea, flavors meld into a symphony of calm, each sip a nod to the earth's generosity. The steam's warmth against the face mirrors the inner glow of relaxation spreading through limbs. This final glimpse into nature's sedatives reveals their enduring legacy, born from reverence and insight. As we conclude segment 2, the profound connections linger, setting a tranquil stage for the sacred practices ahead. With herbal lullabies complete, we gently transition to ritualistic rest. As we transition seamlessly from the herbal gifts of the earth, let us now immerse ourselves in the realm of ritualistic rest, where ancient American peoples engaged in sacred practices that wove serenity into the fabric of their evenings. These rituals, both communal and individual, served as bridges between the waking world and the realm of dreams, preparing the mind and body with deliberate gentleness. Across diverse tribes, from the Iroquois in the northeastern woodlands to the Pueblo in the arid southwest, such practices emphasized harmony with the unseen forces, fostering a deep psychological calm that invited sleep's arrival. The air would thicken with the subtle energy of intention, as participants moved through sequences designed to release the day's burdens without haste. In this sacred space, rest became not an end but a continuation of life's rhythmic flow, a forgotten art of surrender to the night's quiet embrace. Storytelling emerged as a cornerstone ritual among many indigenous groups, where elders gathered families around flickering communal fires to share tales passed down through generations. These narratives, often drawn from creation myths or ancestral journeys, unfolded in measured tones that mirrored the slowing pulse of twilight. The stories served to resolve emotional tensions from the day, allowing listeners to process experiences vicariously and find closure in the arcs of heroes and spirits. Flames danced softly, casting warm shadows that enveloped the group in a cocoon of security, while the crackle of wood provided a steady, hypnotic backdrop. Through this practice, the mind wandered gently toward repose, lulled by the familiar cadence of voices blending with the night's hush. The psychological benefits of storytelling lay in its ability to foster a sense of continuity, belonging, countering the isolation that could disrupt sleep in vast landscapes. By recounting dreams from previous nights or interpreting omens, participants connected personal unrest to larger cosmic narratives, diminishing individual worries. This communal sharing built empathy and support, ensuring no one carried burdens alone into the darkness. The ritual often concluded with a collective silence where breaths synchronized, promoting a shared relaxation that eased the transition to slumber. In essence, storytelling wove psychological threads of peace, a soothing prelude to the body's natural drift. Imagine yourself seated in a circle of woven mats, the soft glow of the fire illuminating faces etched with quiet attentiveness. As an elder's voice rises and falls like a gentle wave, the scent of burning sage mingles with pine smoke, purifying the air and inviting a subtle tingle of calm along the skin. Flickering light plays across the ground, creating patterns that draw the eye without demand, while distant owls hoot in rhythmic approval. Hands rest lightly on knees, grounding the body as the story unfolds, each word a step deeper into tranquility. These visuals and sensations, integral to the ritual, created an atmosphere where serenity blossomed naturally from shared human connection. Communal fires, central to many rituals, acted as focal points for releasing daily strains through simple, repetitive actions like tending the flames or passing a talking stick. Tribes such as the Lakota viewed the fire as a living entity, a mediator between earth and sky, where offerings of tobacco or herbs were burned to send prayers upward. The gentle crackle and pop of embers provided auditory anchors, steadying erratic thoughts and aligning them with nature's pulse. Participants might hum softly or chant in low tones, vibrations resonating through chest to loosen held tensions. This practice emphasized spiritual communion, where the fire's warmth mirrored inner peace, guiding the group toward a collective unwind. The spiritual components infused these fires with deeper meaning, as flames were seen as portals to ancestors who watched over sleepers, offering protection from wandering spirits. Psychological release came through confession-like sharing, where worries were voiced and symbolically consumed by the blaze, leaving minds clearer for rest. The ritual structure building the fire, sharing, then watching it dwindle mirrored life's cycles. Instilling acceptance and calm, communities adapted it seasonally, with longer sessions in winter to combat shorter days. Thus, communal fires nurtured both spirit and psyche, fostering the deep relaxation essential for untroubled slumber. Soft, flickering firelight visuals dominate this practice. The embers glow like scattered stars on the ground, their orange hues warming the surrounding darkness without glare. The gentle sounds of wood shifting and sparks rising create a symphony of subtlety, punctuated by the occasional sigh of wind through branches. Aromas of resinous smoke curl lazily, cleansing and comforting in equal measure. Shadows elongate gracefully, inviting the eye to rest rather than roam. In this sensory tapestry, the ritual's essence emerges, a harmonious blend that soothes the soul. Meditative drumming, another sacred practice, involves soft rhythms played on hide-covered drums by shamans or individuals seeking personal serenity before bed. In cultures like the Navajo, these beats mimic the heartbeat of the earth, starting strong to release energy and tapering to whispers that invited introspection. The drum's vibrations traveled through the body, loosening physical knots from labor while quieting mental chatter. When performed in solitude or small groups, it allowed for personal reflection on the day's events, transforming them into lessons rather than lingering disturbances. This ritual bridged the psychological and spiritual, aligning the self with universal rhythms for profound inner peace. The distant sounds of drums carried through valleys or forests, a gentle thrum that blended with natural noises like rustling leaves or flowing water. Visuals of hands moving methodically over taut skins illuminated by moonlight evoked a dance of shadows and light. Practice emphasized breath synchronization with beats, deepening relaxation through controlled exhalation. Spiritual intent involved invoking protective spirits, ensuring dreams remain safe havens. Through drumming, ancient practitioners cultivated a serenity that flowed seamlessly into sleep's embrace, emphasizing the psychological aspects. These rituals address subconscious fears by reframing them within communal or spiritual contexts, reducing nighttime vigilance. The repetitive nature, whether drumming or chanting, induced trance-like states akin to modern meditation, lowering stress hormones naturally. Spiritual beliefs provided purpose, turning bedtime into a sacred journey rather than a void. Communities reinforced this through teachings, ensuring even children learn the value of ritualistic unwind. In this way, the practices offer timeless tools for deep, restorative relaxation. The gentle sounds of distant drums or chimes, perhaps made from hollowed bones or shells, added layers of auditory calm, their tones resonating long after the strikes faded. Firelight flickered in sync, creating a visual rhythm that mesmerized without overwhelming. These elements combined to form a multi-sensory haven where body and mind align effortlessly. The ritual's pace, ever unhurried, mirrored the setting sun's descent. Thus, sacred practices enveloped participants in serenity's gentle fold. Individual practices complemented communal ones, such as personal smudging with sage bundles to clear auras before entering sleeping quarters. The smoke's tendrils rose in soft spirals, carrying away negative energies accumulated from interactions or labors. This solitary act allowed for quiet gratitude, reflecting on blessings to cultivate positive mindsets for dreams. When done in dim light, it emphasized introspection, a psychological reset that invited vulnerability and release. Spiritual connection deepened through silent prayers, bridging the self to greater mysteries. Visuals of a lone figure waving a smoldering bundle, the gray smoke dancing in moonlight, evoked purity and peace. Gentle chimes hung from doorways, tinkled with breezes, signaling entry into rest domain. The scent lingered on clothing, a comforting reminder throughout the night. These personal touches personalized the path to serenity. In blending solitude with spirit, individuals found tailored tranquility. The psychological components shown in how rituals fostered mindfulness, training attention on the present to dissolve past regrets or future anxieties. Spiritual layers added transcendence, viewing sleep as communion with deities or nature. This dual focus ensured comprehensive relaxation, body easing as mind and soul harmonized. Adaptations across tribes highlighted universality, from coastal shell chimes to inland drum circles. Ultimately, these practices wove a tapestry of calm enduring through time. As we begin this segment on ritualistic rest, the sacred practices reveal their layered wisdom, inviting us to imagine their soothing hold on ancient evenings. The emphasis on spirit and psyche underscores a holistic approach to serenity. Visuals and sounds continue to paint a picture of gentle immersion. This first part sets the foundation for deeper dives into these rituals. With tranquility in mind, we prepare for more. Delving deeper into ritualistic rest, we encounter the practice of smudging, a widespread ritual among many ancient American tribes where bundles of sacred herbs like sage or sweetgrass were ignited to produce cleansing smoke. This smoke was wafted over the body and sleeping areas using feathers or hands, purifying the space of negative energies that might linger from the day's events. The gentle motion of the smoke rising in soft tendrils created a visual meditation, while its earthy aroma filled the air with a grounding scent that eased mental clutter. Performed individually or in groups before bedtime, smudging aligned the spirit with harmony, reducing anxieties that could fracture sleep's arrival. In this way, the ritual bridged the physical and ethereal, inviting a serene descent into the night's quiet depths. The psychological impact of smudging lay in its ability to signal closure, much like drawing a curtain on the waking world, allowing the mind to release attachments without force. Spiritually, the herbs were seen as intermediaries to ancestors or nature spirits, who in turn offered protection during vulnerable hours of repose. Tribes such as the Lakota or Cheyenne incorporated prayers whispered into the smoke, personalizing the practice to address specific unrest. The faint crackle of burning leaves provided auditory comfort, a subtle reminder of life's transient flames through repeated use. Smudging fostered a conditioned calm. The mere scent evoked readiness for restorative slumber. Imagine the soft glow of twilight as a bundle of sage is lit, its embers pulsing gently like a heartbeat in the dimming light. The smoke curls lazily upward, carrying whispers of intention into the ether, while the feather sweep creates a rhythmic hush. Aromas of herbal purity envelop the space, mingling with the cool evening breeze that carries distant nature sounds. Shadows from the smoke dance on lodge walls, inviting a hypnotic gaze that slows thoughts. These elements combine to form a sanctuary of serenity, where ritual met relaxation in perfect balance. Chanting or singing low melodies emerged as another sacred practice, often performed in communal settings to harmonize group energies before dispersing to sleep. In cultures like the Hopi, these chants invoke blessings from the directions or elements, their repetitive phrases building a vibrational field that soothed frayed nerves. The voices blended in soft unison, creating layers of sound that mimicked wind or water. Psychological anchors for drifting minds. This ritual emphasized community cohesion, where shared vibrations released collective tensions accumulated from hunts or labors. Spiritually, the songs connected participants to creation stories, fostering a sense of eternal continuity that diminished fleeting worries. The gentle sounds of chants rose and fell like breaths, distant drums occasionally underscoring the melody with subtle thuds, resonated through the body, Firelight flickered in sync, casting warm hues on upturned faces, a visual symphony of unity and peace. Practice often tapered into silence, allowing the echoes to linger as a lullaby for the soul. Psychological release came through vocal expression, transforming unspoken emotions into harmonious waves. In this auditory embrace, the ritual prepared the psyche for deep, untroubled rest, emphasizing spiritual components. Chanting rituals viewed sound as a bridge to the divine, where vibrations align human frequencies with those of the earth and stars. This alignment promoted inner equilibrium, countering imbalances that might manifest as restless nights. Psychologically, the repetition induced a meditative state similar to modern mindfulness, reducing cortisol and inviting parasympathetic calm. Adaptations included solo humming for personal solace, ensuring accessibility across ages. Thus, these vocal practices wove threads of tranquility, enhancing relaxation's depth. Sweat lodge ceremonies, though more intensive, served as preparatory rituals for profound rest in some tribes, such as the Sioux, where participants entered dome structures, heated by stones infused with water and herbs. The steam enveloped bodies in warmth, prompting gentle perspiration that symbolized the release of physical and emotional impurities. Conducted in dim light with guided prayers, the experience fostered vulnerability and renewal, easing into a state of exhaustion conducive to sleep. The ritual's communal nature built trust, where shared vulnerability strengthened bonds that provided nocturnal security. Spiritually, it represented rebirth, emerging cleansed for the night's journey into dreams. The psychological benefits included cathartic release, where heat and steam facilitated emotional unburdening through quiet reflections or shared stories within the lodge. Upon exiting, cool air contrasted the warmth, shocking the system into a relaxed alertness that soon gave way to drowsiness. Visuals of steam rising like mist from rivers created ethereal atmospheres. The scent of cedar or sage infused the air with purity. Gentle sounds of water hissing on stones provided rhythmic punctuation, aligning breaths. In this way, sweat lodges offered deep relaxation, bridging ritual to restorative slumber. Soft, flickering firelight from nearby hearths illuminated the lodge's entrance, where participants gathered in quiet anticipation, shadows playing softly on faces. The gentle crackle of heating stones built tension released in waves of steam, a sensory cycle of build and release. Distant chimes or rattles might accent the prayers, adding layers of auditory depth without overwhelm. The ritual's pace, deliberate and unhurried, mirrored the body's natural unwind. These elements emphasized the sacred, fostering psychological and spiritual serenity. Individual meditative walks under the stars were practiced by some, like in Navajo traditions. One strolled paths near dwellings to contemplate the cosmos and release daily thoughts. This solitary ritual aligned personal rhythms with the night's vastness, diminishing ego-driven concerns through perspective. The soft crunch of earth underfoot grounded the body, while starlight provided visual anchors for wandering minds. Psychologically, it encouraged mindfulness, processing events in quietude before returning to rest. Spiritually, the stars were guides, offering wisdom that invited peaceful surrender to sleep. The gentle sounds of nocturnal creatures accompanied the walker, a natural chorus that blended with internal silence, promoting introspection. Visuals of constellations wheeling overhead evoked wonder without stimulation, a cosmic lullaby. Practice often ended with a return to the fire's edge, transitioning warmth to the cool of bedding. This ritual simplicity made it accessible, emphasizing personal agency and achieving serenity. Through such walks, deep relaxation unfolded naturally, prepared by nature's own rhythms, emphasizing psychological components. These meditative strolls addressed overthinking by redirecting focus outward, reducing rumination that hinders sleep onset. Spiritually, connection to the universe fostered humility and acceptance, key to inner peace. Variations included sitting in sacred spots for similar contemplation, adapting to mobility. Communities encourage this for all, recognizing its role in mental health. Thus, the practice contributed to holistic relaxation, a gentle path to restful nights. Communal circle dances performed softly in the evening released physical energy while building unity among tribes like the Pueblo. Movements were deliberate and flowing, mimicking natural patterns like rivers or winds. To harmonize body and spirit, the gentle thump of feet on ground created grounding vibrations, while hands linked in circles symbolized interconnectedness. Psychologically, the activity dissipated residual adrenaline from the day, paving the way for calm. Spiritually, dances invoked harmony with ancestors, ensuring protected slumber. Soft firelight cast dancing shadows, a visual rhythm that mesmerized participants. Slowing heart rates gradually, distant drums or flutes provided melodic guidance, their tones fading as the dance wound down. The ritual often concluded with shared breaths in stillness, reinforcing communal bonds. This practice's inclusivity strengthened social fabrics, reducing isolation's impact on sleep and blending motion with meditation. It achieved profound relaxation. The spiritual and psychological interplay in circle dances viewed movement as prayer, transforming energy into peace. Repetition induced trance states, lowering barriers to rest. Adaptations for seasons ensured year-round benefit. From indoor variations in winter, elders guided steps, passing wisdom through embodiment. Ultimately, these rituals enriched serenity, inviting deep, harmonious repose. As we continue through part 2 of ritualistic rest, these sacred practices reveal their multifaceted roles in preparing for sleep, blending community with solitude. The emphasis on spiritual alignment and psychological release underscores their enduring wisdom. Visuals of firelight and sounds of gentle rhythms persist in evoking calm. This exploration deepens our appreciation for ancient serenity. With more layers to uncover, we pause in tranquil reflection. As we conclude our gentle exploration of ritualistic rest, let us reflect on the practice of breathwork and visualization, employed by various ancient American tribes to center the mind and invite profound serenity before sleep. In regions like the Great Basin, individuals would sit in quiet contemplation, drawing deep breaths in rhythm with the wind or nearby streams, visualizing the release of daily burdens as exhaled air dispersed into the night. This practice fostered psychological clarity, allowing fragmented thoughts to coalesce and fade, which like leaves carried away on a gentle current. Spiritually, it connected the breather to the life force of the universe, invoking images of ancestors or natural elements to provide protective guidance through dreams. Communities sometimes shared this in circles, synchronizing inhalations to build a collective energy that amplified personal calm, ensuring rest arrived as a shared blessing rather than solitary endeavor. The psychological components of breathwork lay in its ability to regulate the nervous system, slowing heart rates and reducing the vigilance that harsh environments might instill. A natural antidote to unrest, visualizations often involve picturing peaceful landscapes or sacred symbols, reframing worries into transient clouds passing across an inner sky. This ritual simplicity made it adaptable, performed alone under stars or with family in lodges, emphasizing accessibility for all ages. Spiritually, breaths were seen as exchanges with the divine, inhaling vitality and exhaling discord to maintain balance through repetition. It cultivated a habitual peace, turning bedtime into a mindful gateway to renewal. Imagine the subtle rise and fall of chess in a dimly lit space, breath sensing like waves lapping at a shore. A soft firelight flickers to illuminate serene expressions. The air carries faint scents of earth and herbs, grounding the senses as visualizations unfold in the mind's eye. Gentle sounds of exhalations blend with nocturnal whispers outside, creating an auditory harmony that invites deeper relaxation. Shadows from flames play softly on walls, mirroring the ebb of inner tensions. These elements wove a tapestry of sacred serenity, where ritual became a bridge to untroubled slumber. Another profound practice involved the creation and use of dream catchers or similar woven talismans. originating among tribes like the Ojibwe, where intricate webs of sinew and willow were crafted to filter dreams during the night. Hung above sleeping areas, these were blessed in rituals involving quiet chants and smudging, preparing them to capture negative visions, while allowing positive ones to pass through like gentle breezes. The act of weaving itself was meditative, hands moving in repetitive patterns that quieted the mind and released creative energies from the day. Psychologically, talisman provided a sense of security, reducing fear of nightmares that could disrupt rest in uncertain times. Spiritually, it embodied protection from malevolent spirits, ensuring the sleeper's journey remained harmonious with ancestral realms. The communal aspect often included elders teaching younger ones the weaving techniques, passing stories of dreams caught and released, fostering intergenerational bonds that enhanced emotional stability. Psychological reassurance came from the tangible object, the visual reminder of safeguarded repose amid life's unpredictabilities. Adaptations across tribes incorporated local materials like feathers or beads, each adding symbolic layers of meaning. The ritual concluded with placement and a final prayer, sealing intentions for peaceful nights in this crafted serenity. Dream talismans symbolized the weaving of calm into existence. Soft, flickering firelight illuminated the weaving process, where threads crossed in deliberate patterns, casting web-like shadows that danced with subtle grace. Gentle sounds of fingers knotting sinew provided a rhythmic hush, akin to a heartbeat slowing toward rest. The finished talisman swayed lightly in drafts, its feathers rustling like whispers from the wind. Aromas of willow bark mingled with smoke, evoking Earth's protective embrace. These sensory details deepened the ritual's impact, inviting a profound psychological and spiritual alignment, emphasizing the spiritual dimensions. These practices viewed rest as a sacred dialogue with the cosmos, where rituals align human vulnerabilities with greater protective forces. Psychological benefits included reduced hyperarousal from daily survival, promoting a state of flow into sleep without resistance. Communities reinforced this through seasonal renewals, refreshing talismans or breath patterns to match changing energies. The emphasis on intention, spoken or silent, amplified efficacy, turning simple acts into powerful conduits for serenity. Ultimately, ritualistic rest offered a holistic framework, nurturing deep relaxation through intertwined mind, body, and spirit. The gentle sounds of distant drums or chimes fading into silence marked the close of many rituals, their echoes lingering as invitations to surrender. Firelight dimmed gradually, mirroring the mind's quieting, while the night's cool air refreshed skin warmed by communal presence. These transitions ensured no abrupt end, allowing serenity to seep into every pore. Visuals of stars peeking through lodge openings added cosmic depth, reminding participants of vast, watchful guardians. In this harmonious closure, the practices achieved their zenith, paving paths to restorative slumber. Vision quests, though solitary and extended, influenced nightly rituals in abbreviated forms among tribes like the Crow, where brief evening meditations emulated the quest's introspection for daily reset. Sitting in nature's embrace, one reflected on personal growth, releasing ego to invite humble repose. Psychologically, this cleared mental residues, preventing accumulation into insomnia-like states. Spiritually, it sought visions or signs for guidance, ensuring dreams continued the quest's wisdom. Adapted for bedtime, it became a micro-ritual of gratitude, fostering acceptance and calm. The psychological release in such meditation stemmed from structured reflection, categorizing experiences to find resolution before sleep's arrival. Spiritual communion with land and sky diminished isolation, embedding a sense of belonging that soothed the soul. Variations included holding sacred objects like stones or feathers, tactile anchors for focus. Elders often guided initiates, ensuring safe navigation of inner landscapes. Thus, these practices deepen relaxation, turning introspection into a lullaby for the spirit. Soft visuals of moonlight bathing a solitary figure evoke timeless peace, gentle rustle of leaves accompanying inward journeys. Distant chimes from wine-stirred branches added melodic subtlety, aligning with breath's rhythm. The ritual solitude contrasted communal fires, offering balanced approaches to serenity. These elements highlighted versatility, catering to diverse paths toward rest and blending isolation with connection. Profound calm emerged. Communal water rituals practiced by Riverine tribes involve gentle ablutions or reflections by streams to wash away the day's metaphorical dirt. Dipping hands or faces in cool water symbolize purification, psychologically signaling renewal for the night ahead. Spiritually, water was a conduit to life-giving forces, invoking blessings for clear dreams. The sound of flowing currents provided natural white noise, easing into relaxation. This practice's simplicity made it daily, reinforcing habits of serenity, emphasizing psychological components. Water rituals address sensory overload by cooling and cleansing, reducing physical discomforts that hinder sleep. Spiritual invocations added layers of purpose, transforming routine into sacred act. Adaptations. For arid areas used symbolic gestures with vessels, maintaining essence. Communities shared stories by watersides, blending ritual with bonding. In this fluid harmony, deep relaxation flowed naturally. The gentle trickle of water over stones created auditory calm, visuals of ripples spreading like released tensions. Firelight reflected on surfaces, adding warm contrast to cool touches. These multisensory experiences enveloped participants, fostering holistic peace. The ritual's flow mirrored life's impermanence, inviting surrender. Thus, it contributed to sacred serenity's tapestry, enwrapping ritualistic rest. These sacred practices reveal a profound wisdom in preparing mind and body for slumber, emphasizing spiritual depth and psychological ease. The soft visuals of firelight and gentle sounds of drums or chimes linger as echoes of ancient calm. This segment underscores the interconnectedness of ritual and relaxation, far removed from modern haste. As we conclude segment 3, the serenity cultivated here transitions us smoothly to the social fabric of sleep. In ancient communities, with rituals complete, we move gently onward. As we glide from the sacred rituals that prepared individual spirits for rest, let us now explore the community and cosmos, where the social fabric of ancient American sleep intertwined with ancestral wisdom to create a profound sense of security. In indigenous societies across the Americas, from the communal longhouses of the Haudenosaunee to the clustered pueblos of the Southwest, sleep was rarely a solitary affair but a shared experience. It reinforced bonds and warded off vulnerabilities. Families and clans gathered in shared spaces, their presence offering mutual protection against the unknowns of the night, whether from wildlife or spiritual entities. This collective arrangement fostered a rhythm of synchronized breathing and subtle movements, creating a natural lullaby of human companionship that eased minds into repose. The social structure emphasized interdependence. The elders' watchful eyes and stories ensured younger members felt enveloped in a web of care, diminishing fears that might otherwise stir wakefulness. Communal living spaces were designed with intention, such as the earth lodges of plains tribes, where circular layouts symbolized unity and allowed for easy monitoring of one another during rest. These dwellings, constructed from natural materials like sod and timber, provided insulation and a sense of enclosure that mirrored the embrace of community itself. Nights were marked by quiet conversations fading into silence, allowing the group's energy to settle like dust after a day's labors. The proximity encouraged empathy, with individuals attuned to others' needs, perhaps offering a comforting word or herbal aid to those restless. In this way, the social fabric wove security into sleep, transforming potential isolation into a shared sanctuary of peace. Visuals of shared spaces evoked the warmth of woven blankets draped over sleeping forms, clustered near a central hearth, embers glowing faintly to cast a reassuring light. The soft rustle of bodies, shifting on mats, creates a symphony of subtle sounds, blending with the night's external hush. Scents of shared meals lingering in the air add layers of familiarity, grounding the senses in communal history. Structures open to the sky through smoke holes, allowing glimpses of stars that connected the interior world to the vast cosmos. These elements highlighted the interplay between human bonds and environmental harmony, fostering a deep collective calm. Ancestral wisdom played a pivotal role, with oral traditions recounting how forebears navigated dreams and dangers, instilling a legacy of resilience that bolstered nighttime confidence. Elders serve as keepers of this knowledge, sharing interpretations of omens or dreams during evening gatherings to resolve communal anxieties. This passing of wisdom created a continuum across generations, where sleep became a link to the past, reducing the weight of present uncertainties. Spiritual beliefs reinforced this, viewing ancestors as guardians who watched over the living from the spirit realm. Thus, the social fabric was enriched by these timeless threads, promoting a sense of enduring security that invited untroubled rest. The connection to ancestral wisdom extended to rituals, where offerings were made to honor the departed, ensuring their benevolent presence during vulnerable hours of slumber. Communities believed that strong ties to lineage prevented disruptions from unsettled spirits, a psychological buffer against fear. Stories of heroic ancestors overcoming trials were retold, modeling courage and acceptance that eased into dreams. This cultural inheritance provided emotional anchors, where individuals felt part of a larger narrative beyond their lifespan. In blending social closeness with ancestral reverence, ancient Americans cultivated a profound peace far from modern solitude. Families gathering in these spaces often arranged themselves in patterns that reflected kinship roles, with children nestled between adults for added protection and warmth. The arrangement minimized disturbances as movements were anticipated and accommodated within the group dynamic. Evening routines included light tasks like mending or planning, transitioning gradually to rest without abruptness. This social orchestration ensured that sleep arrived collectively, synchronizing the community's rhythm with nature's own. The result was a fortified sense of belonging, where rest was as much about relational harmony as personal renewal. Under clear night skies, stargazing became a communal practice, where groups lay on rooftops or open grounds to observe the heavens, finding patterns that mirrored their social structures. Constellations were named after ancestors or myths, weaving cosmic stories into daily life and diminishing personal woes against the universe's scale. The vastness above instilled humility and wonder, psychological shifts that released ego-driven tensions before sleep. Gentle discussions of celestial movements fostered shared awe, strengthening bonds through common perspective. In this cosmic communion, the social fabric expanded beyond Earth, inviting a serene release from earthly anxieties. The visuals of families under stars show silhouettes against the twinkling canopy, fingers pointing to familiar formations with quiet murmurs. Cool night air carries scents of desert sage or forest pine, refreshing minds weary from the day. The ground beneath provides a stable base, grounding bodies as gazes lift upward. Faint sounds of nocturnal life accompany the scene, a natural backdrop to human connection. These moments underscored the interplay of community and cosmos, nurturing come through expansive views. Discussing one's place in the cosmos involved interpreting stars as guides for life decisions, reducing uncertainty that might invade sleep. Ancestral wisdom included astronomical knowledge passed down to align actions with heavenly cycles. This understanding fostered acceptance of life's mysteries, easing existential unrest. Socially, it united the group in a shared worldview, where individual dreams contributed to collective destiny. Thus, stargazing rituals deepened security, blending social ties with cosmic awareness. The social fabric extended to conflict resolution before nightfall, ensuring grudges didn't fester into sleepless hours. A practice rooted in ancestral teachings of harmony. Councils or informal talks addressed issues, promoting forgiveness and unity. This proactive approach maintained emotional equilibrium within the community, Psychologically, it prevented rumination, allowing minds to quiet naturally. In honoring ancestors through peaceful relations, sleep became a realm of restoration rather than reflection on discord. Visuals of gatherings shift to circles under moonlight, faces illuminated by shared understanding. Gestures of reconciliation soft and deliberate. Gentle breezes rustle clothing, carrying away spoken words like released burdens. The scene evokes timeless bonds, where cosmos watches over earthly resolutions. These practices wove security into every thread of life. The cosmic perspective amplified this, reminding all of greater cycles. Communal living contributed to security by distributing vigilance, with some members naturally lighter sleepers acting as sentinels without formal roles. This organic system, informed by ancestral survival stories, allowed deeper rest for others. Social norms emphasized quiet during sleep hours, minimizing disruptions. The result was a balanced ecosystem of rest, where the community absorbed individual vulnerabilities. Ancestral wisdom reinforced this through legends of collective strength. Stargazing under clear skies often included pointing out seasonal changes, aligning sleep patterns with natural shifts for better adaptation. The cosmos served as a calendar, guiding when to extend, rest or rise early. This knowledge from ancestors fostered predictability and calm. Socially, it sparked discussions that built intellectual bonds, in viewing stars as eternal witnesses. Anxieties faded into insignificance. The sense of calm rose from understanding life's interconnectedness, where community mirrored cosmic order, reducing chaos-induced wakefulness. Ancestral reverence through dream sharing upon waking strengthened this fabric. Psychological release came from knowing one's place in both social and universal hierarchies. This holistic view invited surrender to sleep's embrace. The practices endured as testaments to forgotten wisdom. As we commence this segment on community and cosmos, the social fabric reveals its role in fostering secure, peaceful sleep through shared spaces and ancestral ties. Visuals of families under stars continue to evoke a sense of boundless calm. The discussion highlights how these elements released anxieties naturally. This first part lays the groundwork for deeper insights into cosmic connections. With serenity in the air, we await further unfolding. Building upon the communal foundations that cradled ancient American sleep, we delve further into how ancestral wisdom infused every aspect of rest, creating layers of security that modern isolation often lacks. Elders revered as living bridges to the past would recount genealogies and spirit stories in hushed tones as night fell, embedding a sense of lineage that anchored individuals against the void of darkness. This oral heritage reminded sleepers of their place in an unbroken chain, where past triumphs over adversity offered silent reassurance during vulnerable hours. Communities like the Maya integrated ancestral altars into sleeping quarters. Subtle shrines were offerings of corn or feathers invited protective presences. In this reverence, anxieties dissolved into the collective memory, allowing bodies to relax fully into the night's gentle hold. The social fabric extended to dream sharing upon waking, a morning ritual where families discuss nocturnal visions to glean ancestral guidance, reinforcing bonds and dispelling lingering unrest. This practice, common among Amazonian tribes, turned personal dreams into communal wisdom, reducing the burden of interpretation on any one soul. Psychological calm rose from knowing dreams were not omens of isolation, but threads in a shared tapestry woven with input from kin. Ancestors were invoked as allies, their ethereal support fostering a security that permeated sleep cycles. Thus, the fabric of rest was strengthened by these exchanges, creating a cycle of peace that flowed from night to day. Visuals of families gathering evoke soft dawn light filtering through thatched roofs, illuminating circles where dreams are voiced with quiet earnestness, hands gesturing lightly to emphasize visions. The air carries faint scents of morning dew and smoldering hearths, grounding the group in the present while honoring the past. Gentle nods and murmurs of agreement build empathy, as elders interpret symbols with measured wisdom drawn from generations. These moments blended social intimacy with spiritual depth, easing any residual tensions from the night. In such gatherings, the cosmos felt closer, stars from the previous eve lingering in memory as eternal witnesses. Understanding one's place in the cosmos was cultivated through nightly observations. Tribes like the Inca aligned their rest with lunar phases, viewing the moon as a maternal force that governed emotional tides. This cosmic attunement diminished personal anxieties by framing them within vast celestial patterns where individual lives were but ripples in an infinite sea. Stargazing sessions often included pointing out ancestral spirits among the constellations, stories that instilled humility and acceptance before sleep. The rhythm of the heavens mirrored bodily cycles, encouraging surrender to natural flows rather than resistance. In this perspective, sleep became a microcosm of universal harmony, releasing worries into the starry expanse. The sense of calm from cosmic awareness stemmed from recognizing impermanence, where stars' eternal dance reminded ancient peoples that troubles were transient, fostering release before repose. Ancestral wisdom included teachings on eclipses or solstices as times of renewal, aligning community rests with these events for collective rejuvenation. Psychologically, this broadened viewpoints reduced egocentric stress, allowing minds to quiet amid the grandeur above. Socially, shared cosmic lore united the group, turning potential fears into opportunities for wonder. Thus, cosmos served as a soothing canvas, painting peace across communal slumbers. Families gathering under clear night skies would lie on woven mats, gazes fixed upward as elders named stars with tales of creation, their voices a steady murmur blending with cricket songs. The cool earth beneath provided grounding, but the infinite black above expanded thoughts beyond daily confines. Gentle breezes carried scents of blooming night plants, enhancing the sensory immersion in cosmic vastness. These sessions often ended with silent contemplation, breath sensing with the group's rhythm in this shared vista. Anxieties evaporated like morning mist, leaving serenity in their wake. Communal living further contributed by incorporating seasonal migrations or festivals that renewed social ties, ensuring rest was embedded in dynamic yet secure patterns informed by ancestors. For instance, nomadic tribes followed star paths for safe travels, their sleep under open skies protected by group vigilance and celestial navigation. This mobility, guided by cosmic wisdom, prevented stagnation-induced unrest, keeping minds fresh and bodies attuned. Ancestral stories of journeys reinforced adaptability, diminishing fears of the unknown. The result was a fluid security where sleep flowed with life's migrations. Connection to ancestral wisdom manifested in heirloom objects, like carved totems placed near sleeping areas, symbols of lineage that warded off spiritual disturbances. These artifacts passed down with rituals carried energies of protection, psychologically bolstering confidence in the night's safety. Communities believed touching them before sleep invoked guardian spirits, a tactile link to the past. This practice blended social heritage with personal calm, easing into repose. In honoring ancestors thus, peaceful sleep became an inherited gift. Stargazing under clear skies included mapping family histories onto constellations. Each star cluster represented clans or deeds, fostering pride and belonging that quieted inner doubts. The vastness diminished petty conflicts as cosmic scales reframed them as insignificant, promoting forgiveness before bed. Gentle discussions during these viewings built empathy, strengthening the social weave. Ancestral voices seemed to echo in the stars, offering timeless counsel. This integration released anxieties, inviting unhindered rest. The social fabric's role in security extended to mutual aid during illnesses, where community healers drew on ancestral remedies to ensure afflicted members slept soundly, free from pain. This support network, rooted in the wisdom of elders, prevented widespread unrest by addressing issues collectively. Psychologically, knowing help was near reduced hypervigilance at night. Spiritually, It honored lineage through caregiving traditions. Thus, sleep's peace was communal, a shared inheritance. Visuals shift to moonlit clearings where families recline, stars reflecting in wide eyes. Hands clasped in quiet unity as cosmic stories unfold. The night's chill is warded by shared cloaks, symbolizing protective bonds. Faint glows from distant fires add warmth, blending earth with sky. These scenes capture the essence of calm derived from place in the universe. Gatherings reinforced release from anxiety through shared awe. Discussing cosmic places involved rituals like drawing star maps on ground. Tangible reminders of order amid chaos, easing existential unrest before sleep. Ancestral wisdom included prophecies tied to heavens, providing hope that transcended daily worries. This foresight fostered optimism, quieting minds for repose. Socially, it united visions for the future. Diminishing isolation in this cosmic framework prevailed. The sense of security from communal living included storytelling marathons under stars, where ancestral epics resolved tensions, paving way for peaceful dreams. Cosmos as backdrop amplified narratives, making personal stories part of larger sagas. Psychologically, this narrative integration released pent-up emotions. Spiritually, stars bore witness, sanctifying the tales. Thus, anxiety yielded to narrative harmony. Families gathering evoked intergenerational circles, young listening to old under twinkling vaults. Breaths collective in wonder, sense of earth and night air grounded the ethereal views. Gentle laughter punctuated tales, easing into silence. These moments built enduring calm. The cosmic understanding deepened release. In part 2, community and cosmos revealed deeper layers of ancestral connections and stellar perspectives that fostered serene sleep, free from anxiety's grasp. Shared gatherings under skies continue to symbolize unity and vastness. The discussion illuminates how these elements wove security into rest. This exploration enriches our appreciation for ancient. Calm, with more to unfold, we pause in gentle reflection as we conclude our gentle wander through the community and cosmos of ancient American sleep. Reflect on how the intricate social fabric, woven with threads of ancestral wisdom, created an unshakable foundation of security that invited profound, anxiety-free rest. In tribes across the continents, from the coastal villages of the Northwest to the riverine settlements of the Southeast, communal vigils during moonlit nights ensured that no one faced the darkness alone, with stories of celestial ancestors providing a blanket of protection over slumbering forms. This shared guardianship, informed by generations of knowledge, diminished the shadows of fear, allowing minds to release the day's echoes into the vast night sky without resistance. The cosmos above served as a silent teacher, its unchanging patterns reminding communities of life's enduring cycles, where sleep was but a pause in the grand dance of existence. By embracing this interconnectedness, ancient peoples found a calm that transcended individual worries, fostering restorative nights that renewed both body and spirit. The sense of security deepened through rituals that honored the dead, such as placing ancestral relics near sleeping mats, symbols that invoked watchful presences to ward off spiritual intrusions during dreams. Families would touch these items before lying down, a tactile affirmation of lineage that psychologically anchored them in a web of eternal support. Far removed from modern feelings of disconnection, ancestral wisdom dictated that unresolved matters be addressed communally before twilight, ensuring emotional harmony rippled through the group like stars aligning in the heavens. This proactive weaving of peace prevented nocturnal unrest, allowing sleep to arrive as a trusted companion rather than a fleeting visitor. In this holistic embrace, the social fabric not only sheltered but healed, turning rest into a communal sacrament of serenity. Visuals of shared spaces under starlit canopies evoke families reclined in quiet unity, the faint glow of embers illuminating faces relaxed in trust. As whispers of ancestral tales fade into the night's hush, the cool vastness above mirrors the depth of their bonds, with constellations mapping paths of heritage that ground wandering thoughts. Gentle breezes carry scents of sacred smoke from evening offerings, blending with the earth's own breath to create an atmosphere of profound belonging. These scenes capture the essence of calm, derived from knowing one's place amid kin and cosmos, where anxieties dissolve like mist at dawn. In such moments, the rhythm of collective breathing becomes a lullaby, guiding all toward untroubled repose. Discussing one's place in the cosmos involved interpreting dreams as messages from stars and spirits, a practice that releases personal anxieties by framing them within universal narratives passed from ancestors. This cosmic dialogue, shared in morning circles, fostered acceptance and reduced the mental clutter that might otherwise invade sleep's sanctuary. Social structures emphasized equality in these interpretations, ensuring every voice contributed to the community's wisdom, diminishing hierarchical stresses. The result was a balanced psyche, attuned to both earthly relations and heavenly guidance, inviting a gentle surrender to the night's embrace. Thus, ancient wisdom transformed potential dread into opportunity for growth, enhancing the tranquility of rest. The social fabric's enduring strength lay in its adaptability, where seasonal cosmic events like equinoxes prompted communal renewals, realigning sleep patterns with nature's wisdom to combat fatigue. Ancestors' teachings on these alignments provided blueprints for harmony, preventing disruptions from environmental shifts. Psychologically, this predictability built resilience, allowing individuals to release control and trust in the group's collective vigilance. Spiritually, it connected sleepers to the eternal, where dreams bridged realms under the watchful cosmos. In honoring this legacy, peaceful slumber became a testament to interconnected living. Families gathering evoked intergenerational harmony. The children nestled safely as elders pointed to stars, their voices weaving security through tales of cosmic kinship. The night's canvas, dotted with light, reflected the depth of their bonds, easing minds into calm. Gentle touches of reassurance passed among kin, grounding emotions in shared presence. These rituals released daily anxieties, paving paths to renewal. A cosmos ever vast, humbled and soothed. Communal living security included protective chants invoking ancestral stars, vibrations that lingered to shield dreams from unrest. This practice, rooted in wisdom, psychologically fortified the group against isolation's chill. Social norms encouraged vulnerability sharing, dissolving barriers before bed. The cosmic view amplified unity, turning sleep into a stellar journey. Thus, calm prevailed through woven ties. Visuals shift to moon-bathed pueblos where clustered forms breathe in sync. Stars overhead mirroring communal constellations of care. Faint echoes of chants blend with wind, creating auditory peace. Scents of adobe and night blooms ground the scene in earthly cosmos. These images embody release. From anxiety through belonging, the gatherings fostered enduring serenity. The sense of place in the cosmos was reinforced by mapping life events to lunar cycles. Ancestral methods that timed rest for optimal renewal, easing existential drifts. This alignment reduced overthinking, inviting mental quietude. Socially, it united purposes under shared skies. Psychologically, it promoted acceptance of fate's weave. In this framework, sleep flowed freely. Ancestral wisdom extended to herbal shares under stars, where community healers distributed remedies, ensuring equitable calm for all. This distribution, guided by cosmic signs, prevented individual suffering from rippling outward. The social act built trust, releasing fears of inadequacy. Spiritually, it honored lineage through care. Thus, the fabric supported holistic repose. Stargazing concluded with silent gratitude, eyes closing on cosmic vistas, minds releasing to ancestral embrace. The vastness absorbed worries, leaving purity. Gentle transitions to bedding maintain calm. These practices wove security seamlessly. The cosmos invited surrender. The social fabric intertwined with the cosmos to foster calm, where understanding placed diminished anxieties through communal and celestial lenses. Ancestral wisdom provided the loom, crafting peace. Shared gatherings under skies symbolized this harmony. This segment illuminates forgotten paths too. Serenity, as we wrap segment 4, the stars guide us toward reclaiming this calm today. As we gently draw our historical journey to a close, let us reclaim the ancient calm by summarizing the key takeaways from these forgotten American sleep practices, offering actionable insights that you might weave into your own modern routines for deeper rest. The holistic foundations we explored remind us that sleep thrives on alignment with nature's rhythms, a wisdom that encourages dimming lights early and sensing bedtime with sunset to mimic ancestral sigh. Goals. Herbal remedies like California poppy or passionflower teas can be sourced today as gentle supplements, prepared with mindfulness to honor their origins and soothe contemporary stresses. Rituals such as storytelling or meditative breathing invite us to unwind intentionally, perhaps by journaling thoughts before bed to release the day's burdens without technology's glare. Communal aspects highlight the value of shared evenings with loved ones, fostering security that counters isolation in our busy lives. These insights, rooted in profound respect for body, spirit, and earth, promise a pathway back to serene slumber if embraced gradually. Key takeaways include the emphasis on natural sedatives, when ancient peoples turned to the land's bounty rather than synthetic aids, suggesting you experiment with organic herbal infusions under professional guidance to ease insomnia naturally. The contrast with modern struggles underscores avoiding screens an hour before bed, replacing them with soft lighting that echoes firelit gatherings for better melatonin flow. Actionable steps might involve creating a personal ritual, like smudging your space with sage to clear energies, drawing from sacred practices that promoted psychological peace. Reflect on how communal bonds supported rest, perhaps by calling a friend for evening chats to build emotional support networks in your routine. Overall, these elements form a blueprint for holistic well-being, inviting small changes that accumulate into profound calm over time. Encouraging reflection on your own sleep habits begins with noting patterns, such as late-night scrolling or irregular schedules, and comparing them to ancient alignments with daylight. For potential adjustments, consider how herbs and rituals could integrate, maybe starting with a passionflower tea while practicing deep breaths to quiet racing thoughts. Inherited from our fast-paced world, ponder the role of community in your life, reflecting if solitude amplifies anxieties that ancient shared spaces naturally dispelled through presence. A holistic approach means viewing sleep as renewal, not escape, perhaps by journaling gratitudes to echo ancestral storytelling's resolution. These reflections foster awareness, empowering you to reclaim calm through intentional nature-inspired shifts. Summarizing further, the wisdom teaches prevention over cure, actionable by incorporating light evening walks under stars to connect with the cosmos, and diminish worries, much like ancient stargazing rituals. Key insights from herbs emphasize sustainability, so source ethically and start with mild doses to build tolerance gently in your daily wind down. Rituals highlight mindfulness, suggesting apps or timers for guided meditations that mimic drumming's rhythmic calm without cultural appropriation. Communal lessons inspire creating family bedtime routines like shared reading to enhance security and release individual tensions. By applying these, modern lives can echo ancient serenity, transforming sleep into a cherished ritual of restoration. A gentle concluding ASMR sequence might involve imagining the soft rustle of leaves in an ancient forest, their whisper blending with your breath as you settle into comfort. Visualize warm firelight flickering faintly, casting shadows that dance slowly across earthen walls, inviting your eyes to soften. The distant hum of a stream provides a steady murmur, sensing with your heartbeat to ease any lingering thoughts. Scents of herbal smoke lingers subtly, purifying the air around you and grounding your senses in peace. This sequence reinforces the message of calm, drawing you deeper into relaxation's embrace. Encouraging further exploration, Consider researching local native plants or joining wellness groups that honor indigenous wisdom, respectfully applying insights like herbal teas in your evenings. Reflect on habits by keeping a sleep diary, noting improvements from holistic tweaks such as reduced caffeine or added rituals. The integrated approach might include weekend nature retreats to reconnect with cosmic views, mirroring ancient communal stargazing for anxiety release. These steps build upon key takeaways, fostering ongoing calm in your life. The peaceful message invites curiosity, gently urging you toward deeper historical dives. Key takeaways revisited. Ancient foundations promote environmental harmony. Actionable today by decluttering bedrooms for dim, cool spaces akin to natural dwellings. Herbal lullabies suggest blending teas like Valerian with chamomile for custom blends. Starting small to observe effects on your rest. Rituals encourage personal adaptations, such as breathwork before bed to align spirit and mind without effort. Communal wisdom advises nurturing relationships, perhaps through virtual gatherings if distance separates, to mimic security's role in sleep. Cosmos connections inspire balcony stargazing, releasing anxieties into the vastness for holistic peace. Reflection prompts include assessing light exposure, adjusting to earlier dimming for better alignment with ancestral patterns, and improved slumber quality. Consider dietary influences, incorporating lighter evenings meals rich in nuts or berries to support natural calm. Echoing ancient nutrition, ponder spiritual elements, maybe adding affirmations drawn from rituals to your routine for psychological serenity. A holistic view means balancing all aspects from physical to emotional for comprehensive rest. These encourage self-awareness, guiding toward meaningful changes. Concluding, ASMR deepens with imagined textures of soft hides under you, their warmth cradling your form as muscles release one by one. Gentle winds whisper through branches outside, a natural white noise that blankets your thoughts in hush. Faint echoes of distant drums pulse softly, aligning your inner rhythm with Earth's steady beat. Aromas of sweetgrass weave through the air, evoking purification and gentle invitation to drift. This sequence solidifies the ancient calm, leaving you enveloped in tranquility. Summarizing actionable insights, start with one practice, like herbal tea rituals, to build momentum toward fuller holistic adoption in modern contexts. Key takeaways emphasize interconnectedness, suggesting apps for nature sounds if urban life limits access to real environments. Encourage reflecting on progress weekly, adjusting as needed to honor your body's unique needs. Further exploration could involve books on indigenous wellness, applied respectfully for personal growth. The message of peace persists, inviting sustained journey into calm. Encouraging a holistic approach means integrating gradually, perhaps combining breathwork with stargazing for compounded serenity in evenings. Reflect on barriers like stress, addressing them through communal-inspired support systems or professional help. Actionable steps include sourcing sustainable herbs, preparing them mindfully to connect with ancient reverence. These foster transformation, turning sleep habits into nurturing rituals. Wisdom offers timeless tools for today's world. If final ASMR touch, picture stars twinkling above, their light filtering softly as your eyelids grow heavy with peace. The earth's hum vibrates subtly beneath, grounding you in universal connection. Gentle breaths flow in and out, carrying away remnants of the day like leaves on a stream. Sense fade to pure night air, fresh and inviting repose. This reinforces exploration's call, easing you toward sleep. Key insights for today: reclaim calm by viewing sleep as sacred. Actionable through dedicated unwind times free from distractions. Herbal wisdom suggests consulting experts for safe integrations. Enhancing modern routines gently, rituals promote consistency. Building habits that echo ancient serenity over time. Communal aspects inspire reaching out. Reducing isolation's impact on rest. Cosmos teaches perspective, releasing anxieties through nightly sky glances. Reflection on habits might reveal over-reliance on devices. countered by ancient-inspired boundaries for better quality slumber. Consider emotional loads. Using storytelling journals to process like fireside tales. A holistic lens views the body as a temple, nourishing it with aligned practices for deep calm. These encourage thoughtful shifts, promising renewed vitality. In this first part of Reclaiming Ancient Calm, we've summarized takeaways and insights, encouraging reflection on habits with a concluding ASMR sequence that reinforces peace. Actionable steps bridge past to present, inviting holistic approaches. The message gently urges further exploration in serenity's pursuit. Key elements linger like fading embers, guiding toward rest. With this foundation, we prepare for more in the segment. Delving deeper into Reclaiming Ancient Calm, consider the actionable insights from Herbal lullabies, where modern adaptations might include incorporating Passionflower or California poppy supplements into your evening routine. Always consulting a healthcare provider to ensure safety and compatibility with your health needs. These natural sedatives, once foraged with reverence, can now be found in teas or tinctures at health stores. Sip mindfully an hour before bed to promote gentle drowsiness without the side effects of over-the-counter aids. Reflect on how ancient preparations involved gratitude to the plant spirits, inspiring you to create a small ritual of thanks when brewing, fostering a psychological shift toward appreciation that quiets the mind. Key takeaways emphasize starting small, perhaps with one herb at a time, to observe how it aligns with your body's rhythms, much like indigenous healers did through observation. This approach not only aids sleep but reconnects you with nature's wisdom, offering a subtle antidote to the artificial stimulants in contemporary diets. Encouraging reflection on your sleep habits, pondering if irregular schedules disrupt your natural cycles, and drawing from ancient foundations by aiming for consistent bedtimes that mirror sunset's cue, gradually adjusting to foster better alignment. Consider how communal fires ease tensions through sharing, prompting you to incorporate evening conversations with family or friends via calls, releasing daily stresses in a supportive exchange. A holistic method might involve assessing your environment, dimming artificial lights to emulate the soft glow of embers, creating spaces that invite repose without distractions. Actionable insights include tracking sleep patterns in a journal, noting improvements from these tweaks to build motivation over time. By reflecting thus, you honor the interconnected well-being of ancient Americans, transforming habits into intentional paths toward serenity. Summarizing key takeaways from ritualistic practices, integrate simple meditations like rhythmic breathing before bed, echoing the soft drumming that align ancient energies. For deep relaxation without complexity, these can be practiced solo, focusing on inhales that draw on calm and exhales that release worries. A technique adaptable to modern apps for guided sessions if needed. Encourage considering spiritual elements lightly, perhaps visualizing protective ancestors or nature guardians to instill security, countering the isolation that fuels contemporary insomnia. Insights suggest combining this with a bedtime smudging using safe alternatives like essential oils. If sage is unavailable, clearing your space symbolically for psychological purity. Overall, these rituals offer tools for mindfulness, inviting you to reclaim calm through consistent, gentle application in your nightly unwind. A more holistic approach encompasses the communal and cosmic wisdom, where actionable steps might include weekly stargazing sessions to gain perspective, diminishing anxieties by contemplating your place in the vast universe as ancient peoples did. Reflect on social fabrics by nurturing relationships that provide emotional security, such as shared dinners free from screens to mimic gathering around fires for connection. Key insights highlight preventing unrest through daily balance, suggesting lighter evening activities and meals to prepare the body naturally for rest. Encourage exploring local wellness communities or online forums inspired by indigenous knowledge, applying respectfully to enhance your habits. Without appropriation, this integrated view fosters comprehensive calm, weaving ancient threads into modern life for enduring peace. The concluding ASMR sequence continues with the imagined trickle of a forest stream nearby, its steady flow washing over your senses like a cleansing wave, easing any residual thoughts into oblivion. Soft textures of woven grasses cradle your form, their subtleness yielding to your weight as muscles soften one layer at a time. Faint whispers of wind through ancient trees carry hints of pine and earth, grounding your breath in nature's eternal rhythm. Visuals of twilight fading to starlight draw your gaze inward, inviting eyelids to flutter closed in gentle surrender. This reinforcement of peace echoes the video's message, a soothing bridge to your own restful explorations. Encouraging further exploration, delve into books on native herbalism or attend workshops on mindfulness, rooted in historical practices. Applying takeaways like communal sharing to build support networks in your circle. Reflect on progress by revisiting sleep logs monthly, adjusting holistic elements such as adding Passionflower to rituals for compounded serenity. Actionable insights include sourcing sustainable herbs from ethical suppliers, preparing them with intention to honor their origins in your routines. These steps promise gradual transformation, turning fragmented rest into harmonious renewal. The peaceful invitation lingers, urging you toward deeper engagement with this wisdom. Key takeaways from the cosmic segment suggest balcony or window stargazing is a nightly habit, releasing worries into the expanse to foster acceptance and calm before bed. Encourage reflecting on your connection to nature, perhaps by incorporating outdoor walks to realign with seasonal cycles. Countering urban disconnection, a holistic approach means balancing physical remedies with emotional releases, like journaling under moonlight to process thoughts as in ancestral storytelling. Insights emphasize sustainability, ensuring changes fit your lifestyle without overwhelming long-term benefits. By embracing these, you reclaim ancient calm, enhancing modern well-being through timeless practices. Reflection on habits might reveal caffeine's lingering effects, addressed by switching to herbal alternatives earlier in the day, echoing ancient diets that supported natural unwind. Consider environmental factors, creating dim, cool bedrooms that mimic earthen lodges for optimal repose. Ponder spiritual voids, filling them with simple affirmations drawn from rituals to cultivate inner security. A comprehensive view invites assessing all life areas from diet to relationships for sleep's holistic support. These prompts empower shifts guiding toward profound serenity. The ASMR deepens with the soft crackle of a distant fire, its embers pulsing warmly in your mind's eye, casting a comforting glow that relaxes your core. Gentle vibrations from imagined drumming resonate faintly, aligning your pulse with Earth's quiet heartbeat without intrusion. Aromas of cedar smoke waft subtly, purifying your imagined space and inviting deeper breaths of release. Textures of cool night air brush your skin, a tender reminder of nature's embrace as thoughts drift away. This sequence solidifies the ancient wisdom's call, enveloping you in lasting peace. Summarizing actionable insights anew, begin with breathwork rituals to quiet the mind, building to include herbal teas for layered calm in evenings. Key takeaways stress community, suggesting virtual meetups if in-person ones are scarce, to mimic shared security's role in rest. Encourage reflecting on cosmic perspectives weekly, using apps for star maps to diminish daily anxieties gently. Further exploration might involve podcasts on indigenous wellness, applied thoughtfully to your habits. The message of tranquility persists, inviting sustained pursuit of calm. Encouraging a holistic lens means viewing challenges as imbalances, addressing them through integrated practices like combined meditation and stargazing for synergy. Reflect on barriers such as noise, countering with natural soundscapes that echo ancient environments for better immersion. Actionable steps include gradual herb introductions, monitoring effects to personalize your approach safely. These foster empowerment, turning wisdom into practical tools for today. The invitation to peace encourages ongoing reflection, a concluding touch of ASMR, Envision moonlight spilling softly over ancient landscapes, its silver light soothing your vision as eyelids grow heavier with ease. The hush of night envelops you, punctuated by faint owl calls that blend into a symphony of repose. Gentle pressures release from your limbs, sinking you deeper into comfort's hold. Scents of blooming night flowers fade gracefully, leaving purity in their wake. This reinforces exploration, easing you towards slumber's gentle fold. Insights for application: reclaim calm by sanctifying bedtime as ritual free from haste, with steps like dimming rooms early for natural transitions. Herbal wisdom advises ethical sourcing, blending with rituals for enhanced efficacy in modern contexts. Rituals promote repetition, creating habits that build serenity over weeks. Communal elements inspire outreach, reducing solitude's toll on sleep. Cosmic views teach release through brief nightly gazes upward. Reflection prompts assess device dependencies, mitigated by ancient-inspired boundaries for quality rest. Consider nutritional alignments, favoring calming foods evenings to aid digestion and calm. Ponder emotional supports, building them through shared experiences that echo fireside bonds. Holistic thinking views sleep as interconnected, nurturing all facets for true renewal. These guide meaningful evolutions and habits. In part 2 of Reclaiming Ancient Calm, we've deepened summaries and insights, encouraging reflections with ongoing ASMR that bolsters peace. Actionable applications bridge eras, inviting holistic integrations. The serene message persists, urging further dives into wisdom. Key elements echo softly, preparing for closure. With this layer, we transition gently onward. As we reach the culmination of Reclaiming Ancient Calm, let us synthesize the profound wisdom from these practices into a cohesive guide. For modern application, the key takeaways blend herbal remedies with rituals to create personalized paths toward serene sleep without overwhelming change. Actionable insights suggest beginning with a nightly herbal tea ritual, such as steeping Passionflower or Valerian in warm water while reflecting on the day's gratitudes, echoing ancient preparations that fostered mindfulness and natural drowsiness. Encourage integrating communal elements by sharing a quiet moment with a partner or via digital means, discussing dreams to mimic the security of ancestral gatherings that release collective anxieties. A holistic approach involves viewing your bedroom as a sacred space, cleared of electronics and adorned with natural elements like plants to align with cosmic awareness, diminishing worries through a sense of universal connection. These steps, drawn from forgotten traditions, promise gradual renewal, turning fragmented nights into harmonious repose if embraced with patience and intention. Summarizing the essence, ancient American sleep foundations teach us to honor nature's cycles, actionable today by setting consistent sleep schedules that respect daylight's ebb, countering the artificial extensions of modern life for better circadian health. Key insights from herbs emphasize ethical sourcing and mindful use, perhaps consulting herbalists to tailor blends that soothe without dependency. Much like indigenous healers observe plant synergies for balanced calm, rituals invite breathwork or smudging adaptations using safe, accessible tools like essential oil diffusers to purify spaces and promote psychological release before bed. Communal wisdom underscores building support networks, reflecting on how shared vulnerabilities and conversations can foster the security that ancient families knew, easing isolation's grip on rest, letting environments disrupt natural unwind. Experiment with dimming lights earlier to emulate firelit evenings that invited gradual repose in ancient dwellings. Ponder the role of diet in serenity, incorporating lighter, nutrient-rich meals with calming herbs to support digestion and mental quietude. Mirroring indigenous practices that prevented unrest through holistic nourishment. Assess emotional burdens, using journaling as a modern storytelling ritual to process thoughts and achieve closure. Fostering the psychological harmony that rituals once provided around communal fires. A comprehensive holistic view means evaluating spiritual connections, perhaps adding affirmations of gratitude to bedtime routines that echo invocations to nature spirits for protection during dreams. These reflections empower transformative adjustments, guiding you toward a sleep culture rooted in ancient calm and adapted for today's world. Key takeaways for actionable change include starting with one ritual, like meditative drumming via apps or gentle tapping to align energies, building consistency to reap the deep relaxation ancient practitioners achieve through repetition. Insights from the social fabric suggest nurturing relationships through evening check-ins, creating emotional security that counters contemporary solitude and invites untroubled slumber. Encourage exploring sustainable herbs locally, preparing them with reverence to honor their origins, enhancing efficacy while fostering a connection to the earth that diminishes modern anxieties. A holistic integration might combine stargazing with breathwork, releasing worries under the night sky to cultivate acceptance and calm as in cosmic rituals. By applying these gradually, you reclaim the forgotten wisdom, transforming sleep into a sacred renewal that echoes across generations. The gentle concluding ASMR sequence unfolds with the soft patter of rain on ancient thatch, its rhythmic cadence washing over you like a purifying veil, easing your form into deeper layers of release. Imagine the faint glow of stars piercing the clouds, their timeless light drawing your gaze upward in quiet wonder, softening eyelids with each subtle twinkle. Textures of woven reeds beneath you yield gently, cradling limbs as muscles unwind in waves of warmth and surrender. Aromas of damp earth and faint herbs mingle in the air, grounding your breaths in nature's hush, inviting thoughts to dissolve like mist at dawn. This immersive close reinforces the video's peaceful message, enveloping you in the serene legacy of ancient calm, encouraging further exploration. Delve into resources like indigenous-led wellness guides or online courses on herbalism, applying insights respectfully to personalize your routines with elements like custom tea blends for nightly serenity. Reflect on long-term habits by tracking monthly progress, adjusting for seasonal shifts to maintain alignment with natural cycles that ancient peoples observe for balanced rest. Actionable steps include joining virtual communities focused on holistic sleep, sharing experiences to build the communal support that once warded off isolation in tribal settings. These pursuits deepen your connection to wisdom, fostering ongoing growth and calm without haste. The invitation to peace lingers, urging you to carry this ancient harmony into your daily life. Summarizing final key takeaways, ancient remedies promote preventive calm, actionable by incorporating daily mindfulness pauses that echo rituals, preventing stress buildup for smoother transitions. To sleep, herbal wisdom advises blending with modern knowledge, consulting experts for safe integrations that enhance rather than replace professional care. Rituals emphasize intention, suggesting personalized adaptations like visualization under stars to release anxieties and invite restorative dreams. Communal and cosmic elements teach interconnectedness, inspiring outreach and perspective shifts that diminish worries in favor of universal acceptance. By weaving these into habits, you honor the legacy, reclaiming profound serenity for contemporary nights. Reflection on your journey might highlight overlooked stressors, addressed through holistic audits of environment and routine. Drawing from ancient alignments for optimized rest, consider nutritional synergies, favoring foods that support herbal effects to amplify natural sedation without over-reliance. Ponder spiritual fulfillments, adding elements of reverence to bedtime that foster the inner peace once derived from ancestral invocations. A balanced approach views challenges as opportunities, using reflections to refine practices over time for sustained calm. These encourage empowerment, transforming insights into lived wisdom. The ASMR concludes with the whisper of wind through sacred groves, its subtle caress carrying echoes of ancestral songs that lull your spirit into quietude. Gentle vibrations from the earth rise faintly, sensing your heartbeat with nature's pulse in harmonious ease. Visuals of fading twilight hues soften your inner vision, inviting complete surrender to the night's embrace. Scents of blooming wildflowers dissipate slowly, leaving a canvas of pure tranquility for your dreams. This final sequence seals the message of ancient calm, gently guiding you toward exploration and rest. Actionable insights for closure reclaimed by sanctifying spaces with natural elements, creating havens that mimic ancient dwellings for undisturbed slumber. Key takeaways stress gradual adoption, building from simple breaths to full rituals for layered serenity. Encourage community building, even digitally, to replicate the security that enhanced ancestral rest. Further dives into history promise enrichment applied thoughtfully to modern contexts. Peaceful ethos invites continued curiosity and calms pursuit. A holistic encouragement means embracing failures as learnings, adjusting practices like herb dosages or ritual timings to fit your unique needs without judgment. Reflect on barriers such as time constraints, countering with micro-rituals that accumulate calm over busy days. Steps include ethical explorations, supporting indigenous sources for herbs to honor origins ethically. These foster resilience, turning wisdom into a personal sanctuary. The call to peace persists softly. One last ASMR whisper, feel the cool night air envelop you, its freshness renewing your essence as breaths deepen in rhythmic flow. Stars above twinkle in silent approval, the light a beacon of eternal calm drawing you inward. Gentle releases cascade through your being, limbs heavy with repose's gentle weight. Aromas fade to nothingness, pure and inviting the void of deep sleep. This ends our sequence, leaving you with a tranquil invitation. In wrapping part 3 of Reclaiming Ancient Calm, we've synthesized takeaways, encouraged reflections, and concluded with ASMR that reinforces peaceful wisdom for today. Actionable insights bridge yours seamlessly. Inviting holistic reclamation, the serene narrative draws to a thoughtful close. Key elements resonate, preparing for the script's gentle finale with segment 5 complete. We transition to the conclusion,